morning, everybody, on this foggy Wednesday. That's right. Pretty ominous looking out.
Yeah, it looks like Ghostbusters.
It's like foggy and humid, and
I love it.
You love humidity?
Yeah, sometimes. I don't
Do
mind
you?
it. Yeah. Maybe it was spinning it on the water. I mean, it's so humid in Alabama. We complain about what we got here, but down there, dude,
it's like soupy.
Swamp.
It was just, I felt like it was an invisible fog of humidity that you could just feel every time you pushed through the air. But when you're on the water, that's kind of what you're looking for.
I don't know. On mornings like this, I hearken back to like summer camp and getting up early and
Oh, yeah. Feeling the dewy moisture.
The dewy grass, for the morning assembly.
Yeah.
Where everybody's on the big lawn and maybe you raise the flag. I don't know what happens.
Wow. Salute your shorts?
Salute your shorts, yes. That's what it is.
Not great camping weather.
No.
Like if you're camping in a tent and you wake up to this, you're like, oh.
Right.
Everything's wet.
Everything's wet.
And like you can't get away from it.
Like it'll dry out.
Yeah.
Once the sun really comes out.
Dude, whatever my mind is involved with as far as my entertainment goes, whatever show that I'm in, I kind of like, I'm fine if it sort of reflects real life a bit. That's why we watch Game of Thrones every winter, or every other winter.
Because winter is coming, yes.
Yeah, winter is coming, and it's kind of a whatever. And right now
it's a winter show. What is it now?
I'm watching
Jason Voorhees.
I'm watching 1923, and winter is setting in. And honestly, this kind of looks like it.
Yeah, exactly.
This looks like 1923.
It does.
1923, the fog never lifted.
Yeah, there's a ranch war about to go on.
It was always foggy in 1923.
Ah, yes.
You see that show?
No, I just got through Landman.
We did too, and it was excellent. So good.
Just got through Landman, finished that. I know Lern and Tim are watching that.
Yeah, we're not done with it.
You're not done with it yet?
No.
Oh, that show rules.
We got to be in the mindset for that. And we were watching the Tour de France yesterday. It was the whole thing.
Oh,
That's where
fun.
we are at our house.
Oh, how exciting.
Very exciting.
I'm going to take a nap.
So Tim's into that?
Yeah, Tim watches it on Peacock. He was looking at the highlights last night, and I had the question of how do they go to the bathroom? Because, these cyclists are going. And he's like, oh, they just go on their bikes. And I had to look it up, and sure enough, the Tour de France participants are whizzing and pooing themselves as they are riding.
And they wear tight clothes.
But that's why they don't have seats on those bikes.
What are you talking
Well, no,
about?
Scott, they lean back.
What are you both
I
talking
went down
about?
a rabbit hole.
What am I talking about?
No, she's talking about pooping on a bike?
Yes.
That's no way.
Yeah,
Absolutely it is.
The seat comes off and they just like space dock to the piping of the bike and they poop inside the frame.
They move
love
the
the
spandex
mongoose.
of their shorts to either pee or poop. And there's been TV on somebody that was getting ready to take a dump.
So think about how one of those spandex tight ass
Unitards or whatever. they're called.
unitard cycling suits.
Right.
I mean, you could pull the backside off. and
Allegedly so. You're
just
going
start dropping
downhill.
logs.
That's right. I was appalled. And then we're looking at like who won the medal that day or whatever. And there's beautiful women like presenting these trophies in France. And then I'm going, they smell like urine.
The turd
Well,
de
you're
France.
assuming they all do it.
Oh, what else? How else do they go?
So you're telling me Lance Armstrong,
Yes.
however many times he won,
Yes.
pooped his cycling outfit.
He smelled like caca. Yeah.
What?
I'm kind of curious if they
I don't know.
they're
if
using so many calories and burning up so much
That there is no
hydration.
waste.
There probably isn't a whole lot of waste. I bet it doesn't happen often.
No, it
Right.
doesn't happen often, but it is happening, you guys. And I think we don't
It
talk
is-
about this
yes,
enough.
it is happening.
I was good friends with a guy who did Tour de France, and like he won a bunch of stuff. Like this is like he was on Lance's team, he was on Team Garmin, like, and we talked extensively about his biking.
Never
and
once
touring.
mentioned it, huh?
Never did he mention pooping on a highway
Well, you don't talk.
at 70 miles
The
an hour.
unmentionables, Of course nobody's talking about this. They want to, it's a great feat of strength and of athleticism.
I'm going to
I would
ask him.
Ask him because I'm figuring, and Rafe, you're right. These machines, not the bikes, the human, operating the bike.
And they got it down, especially cycling, dude. They have it down like wrestlers. Like they have it down to caloric math of like what you need for best output.
Yeah, it's super serious.
You don't see a fat cycler.
Well, no.
You've never seen a portly cycler.
Well, and so all of their training has to do with non-impact, and it's all biking and everything. The thing when he went down, he went down in one of those big races. It might have been the Tour de France or something.
Oh, so they're in a group when one bike wrecks and they all wreck?
He went down and he got destroyed. And he's like, yeah, it sucks for cyclists because we have such weak bones. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, oh, dude, we're brittle. We're basically birds up there with hollow bones because all of our stuff is to be as lean as possible, and we have no impact training. So they're not running. They're not banging their legs into the ground and building up stuff like that.
It's just one little pellet.
Yeah.
That's all they got. That's it, dude.
Yeah, they're fine-tuned
It's like a little piece of dog food.
Yeah.
With no waste.
It's wild.
I guess that's why their bikes have mud flaps. It makes sense now.
Well, I'm glad, Lern.
I still feel like you got to have like a little, like the horses have like a little bag.
No.
A little road apple bag.
Go ahead and go down the Google or whatever the browsers you love.
Also respect the sport, but got to be top 5 most boring sports to watch.
What's more boring, golf or that?
Man, it's a flip a coin. At least golf, they skip around, and it's like, oh, he's got to make this long putt. Cool. And then you see there's a little bit of differentiation in the shots.
Well, at least in golf, if you're a spectator, you get to watch the whole game and travel with hole to hole.
Good point. Yeah, you don't just wait for people to ride by.
Like people that go and sit out and like want to see the Tour de France teams go. I mean, you're literally getting a blip of somebody, and that's what you stood in traffic for.
Here we go. Do cyclists soil themselves during the Tour de France?
Good morning, everybody.
Yes, it can happen, though it is rare and not something most cyclists want to talk about. During grueling races like the Tour de France, cyclists ride for many hours a day, often without stopping for bathroom breaks. Here's what typically happens. Urinating. It is much more common for cyclists to urinate while riding, especially in flat or non-crucial race moments. Sometimes riders coordinate with their teams or...
so they all do it together.
Yeah,
synchronized
with their teams to slow down for a quick bathroom break.
Synchronized.
But sometimes they do it on the move. Soiling or defecating. This is much less common, but does happen on occasion.
Right.
On occasion. Okay, I thought.
So they're not all out there dumping out.
Well, no, of course not.
What? That's how you made it seem.
Well, that's how it seems in my heart.
In such extreme endurance events, gastrointestinal distress can occur, and sometimes a rider cannot hold it. When absolutely necessary, a cyclist might soil themselves rather than stop and risk losing time. Most try very hard to avoid this scenario, and it's generally considered embarrassing.
Can you imagine?
There are a few rare stories in cycling media and biographies where this has happened.
Riz, we are your team. We're all together. We are cycling together. We're close quarters, man. Everybody's kind of on each other. If you ever see it like in tight little positioning when you're head to head, and then a guy starts whizzing. I mean, that's a move, right? Because you're gonna try and either speed up to get away from the shrapnel, or he's gonna take you out. You know what I'm saying? He whizzes by. No pun intended.
So you're saying there's a strategy to this, like if
Absolutely.
It's like like throwing down a oil slick behind you.
Yes,
dude, that's wild.
100%. And this explains also why they wear such goofy looking helmets, so it protects their image whenever they're peeing. No one knows who it really is.
Right.
Do you know what a group of cyclists are called? A peloton. Didn't know that.
Oh, so that's why it's
they
called
should name a bike after it.
I would have thought like a grundle or whatever.
Like, I guess a group of, I don't know if it's teammates or just a group of cyclists together is called a peloton.
I think a smelloton.
Now
is
we know.
better.
Smelloton.
Thank you, Scott.
That is good.
I'm going to text this dude and see if he ever did it.
Yeah, let us know.
Mid race. He's in Arizona now, so I'm gonna give him a little bit. But yeah, dude, hearing some of the stories about how they tour and how expensive those bikes are and how they're taken care of, like they have their own buses and all these different things. Like the bikes have buses, and man, just a wild sport with so much money for the upper echelon athletes.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Well, even, I mean, as far as racing goes, we talk about race car drivers. They soil themselves as well. You can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop.
Your diet the day before certainly matters. Ain't nobody getting a big old meatball and bean.
Well, remember we had Santino in here?
before.
Santino Ferrucci in here?
He wasn't here, I don't think.
Oh, you weren't here?
What did he say his dinner was?
Big old steak.
The night before.
Yeah. And even sometimes that morning.
Well, yeah, because that'll plug you. You're not going to drop that for another 48 hours. Oh, I'm serious.
That's not. Yeah, you're not.
If you're used to that, as long as that's not shocking your system,
Santino,
that's going to plug you, dog. Yeah, you'll deal with that over the weekend.
Yeah. No, how long are those races? 5 hours? 4 hours?
Yeah.
The Indy races?
thing.
Yeah, 4 hours.
Tour de France is days.
I mean, but you're not on the bike for days. I mean, the
No, but
stages.
you're on the bike for 8 to 10 straight, right?
Yeah.
These are pretty long riding days.
It's hot.
I think on a race, it's like, you know, I'm
hills.
sure it happens to you on stage, man. Like, my big fear is I'm going to have to pee or poop while I'm doing comedy. But I've never once really had it happen. Like, once I get on stage, your body kind of, like, shuts all that down.
Yeah, the
Because you're in,
adrenaline.
like, performance mode. I'm sure athletes get that way, too, but I don't know. That's a long time to be on a bike.
So they'll go, the typical Tour de France stage is usually between 93 and 137 miles.
Which I don't know how fast they go.
Time-wise, let's see here. 4 or 6 hours.
Okay.
Flat stages, 4 to 5 hours. Mountain stages, 5 to 6 hours. The time trials,
They can probably shut it down for that
30 to
amount of
60
time.
minutes for each rider. Yeah, well, fascinating.
Fascinating stuff.
And I didn't realize the Tour de France is going on right now.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on in the Elwell household.
Yep. Nonstop.
How exciting.
It's very cool every year.
So
or
you've put
whatever.
Landman on pause?
Yeah.
Oh, man, bummer.
I know. Tell me about it.
Because you're not far from finishing it. You know, it doesn't
I know.
have
We're
to-
on
It's
like
one
episode
season.
2.
Oh,
Episode 3.
you have-
We've just
my
been taking our
goodness.
time.
You have a while to go.
I know.
Great show.
We're savoring it.
Yo, go to 1923 next, and then Mobland, because everybody tells me
Yeah,
if you
Bob
like
Land
this
I hear
crap,
is great too.
yeah, they're like, if you like this kind of crap, you're gonna love Mobland.
Which is the one with, Tulsa King.
I'm not
yeah.
interested.
Said
in
to
that.
watch that too.
That's a fun one.
I don't know why.
Who's the main?
Stallone.
Stallone. That's right.
I don't know why. I don't want to see Stallone in a TV show.
What?
He is a movie star only.
Yeah, I know that sounds really, really stupid, and it is. I agree with you, but I don't want to see Stallone in a TV show. I just don't. I don't want to do that.
He is a movie star. That's it. You're right.
Do you have anybody else that's like that?
Well, Tom Cruise would never be on a TV show.
And it's not even about like TV versus movies, like the different things. One's better than the other. It has nothing to do with that. It's like I see Stallone. It's just a movie guy. I need to see you in a character role, and that's about it. You get a franchise like Rambo. Cool, good. Everybody deserves one or two.
But don't you feel like the new shows are kind of just big, long movies?
Totally, and
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons I love them. I love TV. Right
I tried
now.
to watch that Schwarzenegger Fubar show,
Not
and that was
interested.
another one that I was like,
Fubar.
ugh, I can't see him.
I know.
in a serial like this.
I started it as well, and I couldn't do it. Like it was as if he was performing in a TV role, and it looked really awkward. It felt awkward, and I was like,
Because in my mind, it's like the CBS guy going after Murder She Wrote, an all new Fubar starring Schwarzenegger. You know, I can't wrap my head around it. I don't like it.
It's got a TV show where he's dancing in the woods, and then it freezes on a freeze frame.
I
with,
don't like my actors or actresses
a big grin.
jumping around to different.
Well, they age out eventually. It's probably easier schedule on them too. Can you imagine like they do a CSI and it's like Stallone and Schwarzenegger? They get together to do. Because I mean, CBS is programming for the olds.
Sure.
It's for the old people. There's so many cop shows and procedurals, hospital and
It's lawyers,
cops and doctors.
cops, doctors, and sometimes
and,
cop
and
cop
old people
doctors.
can't get enough. They're always the highest rated shows.
Oh yeah.
And I'll watch one and be like, these are terrible.
The Stallone thing is senseless because everybody keeps saying that Tulsa King is freaking great.
I hear
And
it's great too.
You got Harrison Ford in 1923. I got no issue with that.
Well, again, I would say
Helen Mirren is in
It's- yeah,
he's in
1923.
Shrinking,
it's
too.
great. It's great in a way of where it's fun, but it's not. It's a different caliber than those. It's the kind of like an '80s action in modern.
It's
shooting,
fun.
you know?
Sylvester Stallone is in a fun TV
Well, like
show.
all his movies.
These
they're-
are all words I don't
all his
want
movies
together.
are kind of fun. You know, they're
It's like Kathy Bates is the
Just
new
leaning
Matlock.
into the
Don't
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
80s testosterone.
Yeah.
Tulsa King is like Yellowstone. It's a soap opera with brass knuckles on.
Oh, and Yellowstone.
Nice.
Yellowstone is not great.
Yellowstone started good though, but it was always a
did.
soap opera. Like Sam Elliott even criticized it and said it's a soap opera with the cowboy hat on.
Oh yeah, all these are 1923 is
Yeah.
1883. They're all these things are just soaps. But if they're done
yeah,
right,
if you
they're
just
good.
accept it when you're watching it, you're like,
And
this
that's
is
what
over the
Landman
top.
is.
That's what Landman is. It's over the top. Taylor Sheridan's kind of cornered the market on that over the top, like man popera.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you know what one of the best soap operas of the last 20 years was? Sons of Anarchy
Yeah,
is incredible, and it's a soap opera.
I mean, that's Shakespeare.
Well, so
It's
is
just Hamlet on
so
motorcycles.
is Game of Thrones.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it is. It's,
Yeah, you're right. But
Everything is so.
I mean, you're totally right. But Game of Thrones is freaking great.
Who's the guy that made Sons of Anarchy?
That is Vince, not Vince
no,
Gilligan. The other guy, the guy that's married to.
He made The Shield
he's
and all
married
that
to
stuff.
Peg Bundy.
Yeah,
Kurt
right.
Sutter.
Kurt Sutter.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the same. He just repackages Shakespeare in like testosterone.
Hey, I forgot to ask you, by the way.
Yeah.
Because you weren't here on Monday. You never got onto Willie Nelson's bus? Did you?
Dude,
I think we would have heard about it.
I would have thought.
Couple
we
Here's the
heard
thing.
about it, but
I want to give so much love to everyone at the amphitheater. From the moment I walked in, everyone was so invested in me getting on this bus. And the efforts that went forth were to move mountains were monumental. From every single person. The moment I walked, the person who checked my ticket scanned me in, goes, big fan, good luck getting on the bus today. Gloop. Before I even went in.
And this is it was Willie Nelson, it was
Bob Dylan.
Who else was on that show?
He sucks.
Nathaniel
by the way.
Rateliff.
We'll get to that.
Oh, man, I'm coming your way on it. I
We'll
texted
get-
you about it.
We'll get to Bob Dylan. Jesus. So this is before you went on vacation.
Yes. It was been about a week ago. I went to Nathaniel Rateliff, Bob Dylan, and Willie were the big
It was the
headliners.
Outlaw Music Fest.
Yeah.
So this is or was probably the last opportunity to get on the bus. Willie, how old is Willie?
He's only 93.
10,000 years
He's
old.
10,000 years old.
Dude, he's up there, brother. He's up there, and they got him locked in a glass case, break in case of country music emergency. Like,
And I
he
will-
is tucked away.
I will tell you, the boss, he made phone calls. I mean, he tried.
Yeah, I know. Tommy tried. He Live Nation tried. By the time I got in the building, dude, I walked through. Lady, wish me good luck. First cop I see, first security he goes, hey, man, you getting on the bus today? And I go, what? And he goes, the bus. I listen every day, man. Listen. And I go, I don't know. Do I have a police escort? And he goes, let me run it up the chain of command. He's on his speaker. Well, he's supposed to be.
Protecting lives.
Which he was. He was protecting Willie's life and my life. My dreams is what he was protecting. He calls it in, and he goes, where are you sitting? And he goes, sit tight. I'm going to send the head of security over.
Wow.
I go in. I get in there. I see Dale and all the amphitheater security, and they're like, all right, man, we got some stuff cooking for you.
Whom are great. And they
awesome.
treat us so well
Yeah,
out there.
Oh, yeah.
At the
And the two
amphitheater. All of
brothers.
us.
What are their names? Ben and
They're all wonderful out there.
they were great. And that dude, they were trying to move mountains. They were like, well, what if we get him onto catering? The lady from catering is a fan. She goes, hey, maybe when we're going to run some fruit platters out, maybe you can walk back there with me. And
So everybody's scheming for you.
everybody
doing
was
tricks.
scheming, dude. It
Hey,
was,
so, yeah,
it was,
if Willie calls for a fruit platter, you could be the
Here
guy
it
to
is.
deliver.
Yeah.
You're in a chef.
By the way,
everyone
Willie
had me
Nelson,
on call.
nobody's delivering a fruit platter to Willie Nelson.
You sent somebody over there to take all the lighters off the bus, so
Barbecue.
you'd be needed.
So they told me that they had a perimeter of like 15 yards around the bus with like 4 or 5 security people where they were just keeping a perimeter so people didn't smoke, vape, any kind of anything because he has emphysema so bad that it could trigger it and then he wouldn't be able to perform. So they already had him.
So they got him in a bubble. I mean,
He's in a bubble with
Listen,
his people.
he's.
I mean, he was
I'm
caught.
just going to say it. The guy's one bad germ away from
Yeah.
not touring anymore.
They're not letting anybody.
I get it.
come on.
I understand it, but it wasn't stopping my dream. So, because when he performed and he killed it, he did do a great job. But there were a couple times during the performance he had to like turn away and like cough into a towel. Like he's clearly like, he's been smoking weed for 300 years. Like he's feeling it. But I got there and we sat. Live Nation put us in I was sitting with Jimmy Griffin and his fam and some other folks, and even he was invested. And he goes, "What?" He goes, let me see if I know anybody on this. See if I know any of the other performers, like maybe some of the band guys. I can get you back there with that. Then we had catering. We had Live Nation lady was like running it, and she goes, "Let me see what I can do." She's like, "They are being
Right.
Tight.
tight." So she went and did what she could, and she's like, it is not looking good. She's like, I've tried. She's like, they don't even want me back there. They're like only essential people. So then this guy, shout out to Shane, head of security, police officer. He goes, I'm giving him his escort into stage, out of stage, and I'm driving him out. I'm driving the bus out, and I go, hey, can you just cuff me and throw me in the back? Cuff me and throw me in the back of your squad car, and we'll be like, this is what happens when you try to meet Willie, and at least we can see the bus over my shoulder as it leaves. And he tried to see if I could do a ride-along with him, to drive him out, just to be in the car to drive the bus out, and they shut it down.
Whoa.
But
Again,
it was the amount of people.
And anything to keep that tour rolling.
Yeah,
This
and then
man
it
is
didn't happen.
old, and he's fragile, and he is a germ away from.
And then all that, I guess you guys, did you report on all the Thunder Ridge stuff?
Yeah, they had to cancel. And so they
Oh, no, I didn't know
rescheduled it
about
to
that.
July 4th because all the gear got wet.
They haven't done a concert since, I don't think.
No, he rescheduled to July 4th, I thought.
Oh, okay. Correction. They did do a concert on July 4th. But I was like, I could have been at the last Willie concert. He almost got blown away in a storm.
Did it storm that night?
No, Thunder Ridge, like, they had all the equipment and stage set up, and a bunch of equipment got damaged and instruments got ruined.
Oh.
And they had to, like, basically fly in a bunch of instruments, and the whole tour got shut down for, like, a week or something like that.
Oh, but I'm right about Bob Dylan, though. He sucks.
Well, speaking of Jimmy Griffin, I don't know what your review is, but before your review, we could get Jimmy Griffin's review of Bob Dylan. Did you read what he said?
He sent me a text.
He tweeted or whatever this thing is, Threads.
Yeah.
I saw this.
Now, and you read this before. Now, just so people don't know, if people don't know, Jimmy Griffin is, a great musician, good dude, nice guy,
Super positive.
super
Friend of the
chill.
show.
He's
been on our show a gazillion times.
Yeah, he's an artist and a supporter of artists.
He's for everything from Celebration Day, El Monstero to the Tom Petty, tribute thing.
Yeah.
So this is a guy that knows his music. And his review of Bob Dylan.
He's got a picture of Bob, old Bob, and says, saw this amazing man last night. As long as humans listen to music, you will hear Bob Dylan. He is genius personified.
Right.
Having said that,
Right.
dot, dot, dot.
Here we go.
Oh, man.
Having said that, dot, dot, dot. Sometimes, I believe he continues to tour as a twisted inside joke to make the entire world watch him learn how to play piano on stage. Nothing but love for the man.
Same. Respect the catalog, but play the damn catalog. And I told, before he went on, I told Jimmy and Tina, I go, here's what he's going to do. Here's my prediction, because I've seen him 3 times, and I was upset all 3 times. I'm like, he's going to come out. He's not going to play hardly any hits. He'll play 2 or 3 that you recognize, but he'll play them at an up-tempo where you're halfway through the song before you even know what he's playing. And he played like a jazzy version of All Along the Watchtower. Like, he came out and he played like 4 songs no one knew. People were sleeping on the lawn. He's up there, and he turned the screens off, so you can't even see him. He turned the screens up by the stage off. I think they kept the ones on the lawn on, but he turned the ones by the stage off, so he's far away. They turned the screens off. He's up there banging on a piano, mumbling into the microphone, singing
There must be somewhere out of here.
I have his set list. I only know. And this man has wrote some of the most iconic songs of all time.
Yeah.
Everything from, All Along the Watchtower to,
Like a Rolling Stone.
Like a Rolling Stone. The songs. So
You know the songs.
he
Times
came
are
out-
changing.
Hurricane.
Blowing in the Wind, Tangled Up in Blue, Lay Lady Lay.
The
entire Blonde on Blonde album, bruh.
Okay, so he came out and played "Gotta Serve Somebody." Don't know that one.
Then he did a one.
Then he did a Bo Diddley cover, a song called "I Can Tell." Then he did "Forgetful Heart." Then he did a cover song called "Axe and the Wind." Then "To Ramona," "Early Roman Kings," "Under the Red Sky," "I'll Make It All Up to You." Then he did 9th song was "All on the Watchtower."
But guess what? He played it in a jazzy up-tempo. Not the way that song was. Nothing about those lyrics go. He was like, "All along the Watchtower," and I was like, it was like we got halfway through, and Jimmy goes, is this Watchtower, man? I go,
We didn't even recognize the song.
yeah, I think it is, man. Like, until he said All Along the Watchtower, you could not tell. The tempo was like, it was sped up like 3 times faster than the song.
Weird.
He was playing like a ragtime, like all along the Watchtower.
Oh, you know what song I love? It is Subterranean Homesick Blues.
Yeah, great song.
Great song.
Sitting on the pavement.
Does he
thinking
sound
about
like
the
Mr.
government.
Burns when he's singing it?
Yes. And I just said to, and I go, I really do feel like, and I told Tina this, I go, I think at this point, Bob Dylan is so over the music industry that he's just trolling people. He's just touring to troll because he's like, all of these people are coming to hear me sing the Blonde on Blonde album, and I refuse to do it. Because it was by far like a huge dip in the concert. Like, people were bored. Even fans who were trying to like stand up and dance, like, just got disheartened and gave up halfway
Oh, that
through.
sucks. Where Willie Nelson was all, I mean, he played everything.
Oh, people were crying, dude. People were crying in the when he played Last Leaf on the Tree, which is really about being in the winter of your life, like being the last, and all of his friends being passed away. He's the last one left. People were weeping openly in the audience. He like stopped and coughed up a lung in the middle of it, and then came back and finished Last Leaf. But I mean, he still sounded good.
Oh, he wasn't playing on a click?
No, he was singing for real, and I mean,
I don't think
Willie's
he
voice
recorded
kind of
it.
lends itself to that talk, sing,
Yeah.
you know, so he can.
Bob Dylan does what Bob Dylan wants to do.
He does, and man, it was just. It was I'm coming your way on it. Like, I appreciate his legacy, but I'm like, hey man, if you hate it that much, you got enough money, just stay home, play your piano at home, sing into the closet. Like, people are, if he would have been headlining, you know how mad people would be? If that was like the last guy and you're like, I paid to see Dylan and this is the performance. I
So
would
if
be
there's,
pissed.
let's say there were 15,000 people there. I'm just throwing out a number.
Yeah.
Of those 15,000 people, how many people do you think enjoyed that set from Bob Dylan? He played 15 songs.
Can I count Bob Dylan?
Yes.
Yeah.
One.
Oh, you think he enjoyed it?
Yeah, I think he was enjoying, like, they don't know any of these. I think he was
does
like,
sound
I think
like
I
Mr.
think they
Bird.
turned the screens off because he was up there laughing, looking at his band like, can you believe they're still here? This isn't even a song.
These idiots came again. I recognize a couple of these idiots' faces.
So why
Yeah.
would he?
He's like, I just did the theme song from Alf and nobody noticed.
Why do you come out and do that, knowing your audience wants to hear your most popular songs?
Because
Well,
he's
he
like a
still thinks he's a
sadist or
rebel?
whatever. Like, he likes to torture people.
I think he sees him. I think it's a pretentious thing. I think he sees himself as an artist who's always creating new, and he's not going to pay the tent tax. He doesn't want to pay the tentpole tax of like, these are the hits. Whether I'm sick of playing them or not, I got to do a few. Like, and I get it, man.
I
You don't have to
respect
do
that.
all.
I would never do that. I'm not that guy, but I respect it.
I respect it to a degree, and I'm not asking you
don't
to
at
play.
all.
You don't have to play Blonde on Blonde hit for hit, all 14 tracks. Play 2. If you play 20 songs, 10 hits, 10 new, and you're still gonna, and people will still be happy.
I understand what you're
I
saying.
don't understand. I don't respect it at all.
Well,
Like,
he's not a pop act, okay? Like, you're demanding, we are demanding what we want from somebody who never intended to be that. And listen, I am not.
Then don't
I
tour.
cannot even believe I'm defending the guy because I don't know any of this stuff. I've never purchased or leisurely listened to anything Bob Dylan ever.
Mm-hmm.
But the dude sought out to be an artist and an antagonist and a provocateur, if you will, of thought. And if that's where he sought out, that's where he started, and he's still doing it. I respect at least he's been able to follow
at least
the
he's
thread.
consistent.
That's all I'm saying.
He's
It's like,
consistent with it.
Yeah,
this
but
isn't
times
somebody
are
that
different.
started as a pop act.
Are these times a changing?
Times are
times-
different doesn't mean that he should be different.
No, but it is. It's like back in the day, 50 years ago, you paid $2.50 to watch him do his thing like that. Now you're paying $200 to just see him one last time and hope that you're getting your money's
You're
worth.
paying $200, not including parking.
Right.
Yeah.
I think true artists go out there whether you like.
Screw your true art.
I'm
paying
just,
a ticket.
I'm just saying.
I'm paying for a
I
ticket.
don't think
Maybe
true-
I'm not even defending him. I'm just defending the principle of it, and I respect the
I
principle.
get what you're
of it.
saying.
There's
I don't get it.
consistency.
Gross.
But I disagree on the fact that, like, if you're a true artist, then don't do a giant music outlaw festival that's like a summer festival tour that has that's supposed to be all these bands jamming out for amphitheaters full of 20,000 people
I know
who
what
are there
you're
to
saying.
have a good time and hear the songs they recognize.
Maybe he was doing a favor to his friend. Like, I don't know anything about the behind the scenes.
Or he's
so
trying
I'm
to make
gonna-
people
I'm
not
gonna-
come to the concert.
It's a selfish move. It really, screw your art.
Yeah, there's
Screw you.
we
Screw
wanna
But
your
I
get
art.
also
I
feel like
paid
people
money.
know what they're getting. I feel like there's
At this point, I
at
guess.
this point, you know what you're getting with Bob Dylan. If you're going there to get the hits and you haven't read enough
people
about the
haven't
reviews,
gone.
I mean, you know that he's not going to do what you want
saying
him to
dance
do.
monkey dance, but throw your audience, your fans, a freaking bone.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
Especially if it's the last time.
At least do
What was the set list? Was there anything else recognizable? on it?
No.
So it was basically
All on the Watchtower.
You got to serve somebody.
Desolation Row was
But
one
he's
of the
never
songs.
done that. You're asking a baseball player to play soccer. You're asking.
Never done what?
He's never gone out and performed to be the performer. He's never gone out and thrown bones to his audience. That's not what he's there for. He's never intended that.
I bet
Again,
he-
I can't believe that I'm the only one in the room defending this guy. But have you guys no code as far as like?
No, my code is I buy a ticket, entertain me.
Bro, if you went to Limp
Yeah.
Bizkit and they played nothing off their first
You're the
four
guy-
albums,
you're the first guy with-
you would be livid.
Limp Bizkit is a different game. It's a different
Why?
story because they started off as that. Like, they didn't start off to be artists. They started off to be Spring Breaker. That's how they hit. Was MTV's Spring Break, 7-string, rap rock. Like that's.
Well, that's how Dylan started off a folk singer and sang no folk. So it's like
But folk singer, like
You could take your.
Folk-
I could. I'll show you where to put
Oh,
your.
that's
arm.
one of the strangest false equivalencies I've ever. You just.
I'm just saying, like,
To
you know,
listen
where
to-
if you're saying that Limp Bizkit started as this, so now they have to tour as this. Well,
I'm not
Bob
saying
Dylan
that.
started as something else too.
I'm not
and
saying
he's
that.
touring as something totally different.
Yes, but in the skeletal aspect of what he intended to do with his poetry or music or whatever you want to call any of what he's done.
Yeah, noise.
Well, and yes, and Andrew, good point. This is the exact guy that played the electric guitar at a folk fest and pissed off everybody. So yes, he is
Yeah, the dude
a
is-
rebel
Yeah.
and has been for years. And I guess we should know what to expect. But you
Yeah.
can take your art and shove it up your tuchus.
I don't
All right,
care that he
Bob?
went electric.
There's a lot of bands like this. Neil Young is like this. Morrissey is like this.
Yeah, all grumpy people you probably don't want to be around.
But,
No
but
Effects is like this.
But when they do what they do, it moves the needle. It affects things. It does change things. Those are disruptors in pop culture.
yeah,
and in
here's
music.
what it changes. Me wanting
but-
to never buy a ticket to go see Bob Dylan.
I understand, but I
Well,
guess
actually, that didn't
I guess this
change.
is why I'm getting defensive about it. It's because we all complain. When, on another day, we're all going to complain how there's no artists anymore, and there's no these people that are pushing. It's just pop formula crap that's just been recycled and thrown and down to 2 minutes and singles and all this kind of stuff. And you know why? It's because you guys with the tomatoes and eggs
All right,
throwing
Moon?
it at people that
And
don't
just
do
to put a
exactly
just
what
to put
you
a
want.
capper on this. I understand what you're saying, but do it on your own time. Don't do it when I bought a ticket to go see your show.
I'm not saying buy tickets to Neil Young and Bob Dylan. What I'm saying is there's a reason that we're not going to have those guys anymore,
here's
and
the-
it's because you guys are so apt to throw tomatoes at these people within a few
Again,
seconds of
be a
them not
rebel
doing
on your
what you
own
want.
time, not when I got a babysitter and paid $25 for parking.
And also,
That's
let
all
me
I'm
say
saying.
this: it's
I just
still
want-
art if
I
it's
wanna
a
move
hit.
on.
I know, but it's still art. You still wrote the damn songs that were hits.
I'm
and
one that agrees there, but
That's
nobody's
fine.
going to be.
Well, we just-
no one can have a hit.
We just had a caller who said that he purposely will never play the same song the same way twice. He wants to do it different every time.
that's fine.
Great.
But yeah, we saw like No Effects. They never played Montana. They finally were up in Montana, and they turned the set into slow effects. And they did like maybe 2 songs out of 30 minutes, and it was hilarious for us. But I felt so bad for people that drove for hours to go see No Effects.
But No Effects fans know that that's coming.
Yeah,
because
but you
that
can see
band
the
has
crowd
been-
All right,
was-
guys,
there's
listen,
a lot
we're
of
not,
annoyed
we're going round and round. I get it. Bob Dylan sucks. We all could agree on that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
the caller didn't say so.
And you didn't get on the bus.
No, but I do want to reiterate thank you to everyone who was it was humbling and kind of sweet, and almost the experience of everyone trying was not as good, but very close to as good, because I was truly humbled at fans of this show that were like more invested than I was almost on getting me on that bus. And we were everything short of a ladder and a vest was employed.
Well,
to
people
get
were
me
looking
on.
out for you, which is nice.
Yeah.
Which is nice. They know
I
that
didn't
was
make
the.
it.
They know that was on the bucket list, and this is
We tried.
This is this could have been the last time. Maybe not. Who knows? Maybe the Outlaw Fest will be back next year.
Maybe.
God willing.
I hope it comes back, and I hope Alan Jackson opens and he plays 0 hits from his no Chattahoochee.
Listen, this is welcome news right here. If you're already having a bad day, it's 6:42. Maybe you're sour already. Maybe you're having a bad day. A bunch of websites are reporting that today could be this day, July 9th, 2025, could be the shortest day in history.
Wow.
In history. Now, the rotation of the Earth speeds up and slows down depending on a couple things. The biggest factor is how far away the moon is. The good news is, if you're having a rough one, today will be 1.3 milliseconds shorter than normal.
Thank God.
That's just over 1/1000th of a second you won't have to experience. So here we go. The bad news is you won't notice. And it's not actually a record. DailyMail.com went full clickbait with their headline calling it the shortest day in history, but according to calculations, it won't even be the shortest day of 2025. Ready to nerd out, guys? Here we go.
Okay.
July 22nd will be 1.38 milliseconds shorter than normal. And August 5th will be the shortest day of the year and 1.5 milliseconds shy of a full 24 hours. There's an outside chance the Earth spins slightly faster than expected today, but the shortest day ever recorded was last year, July 5th, 2024, and we all know this. It was 1.66 milliseconds shorter than normal. And it was a good day for it. Everybody was nursing a 4th of July hangover. So there you go. That's your nerd news. Mm-hmm. And another thing, just one more piece of nerdy news here. I remember when I found out in science class that one day the sun will get so big it'll swallow up the Earth. It really bugged me out.
Traumatized everybody.
I still think about it. What's it going to be like when the sun gets to be one of those red giants and swallows up?
It takes 7 minutes for the light to get to the Earth. So.
Swallows up Mercury and Venus, and we're next. So you ever wonder how the universe is going to end? Well, some scientists think they figured out a possible timeline, and here we go. It's a wild ride. So a new study suggests that instead of expanding forever, the universe will actually start to shrink in about 7 billion years. That's right. After getting bigger and bigger and bigger since the Big Bang, everything might eventually start coming back together like a giant cosmic rubber band snapping back.
Why 7 billion? What's the catalyst there?
Well, this idea is being called the Big Crunch. Basically, the universe reaches its maximum size, so about 69% bigger than it is now, and then slowly starts to contrast until everything collapses into a single point.
We just need to expand fast food throughout the whole...
So it's kind of like the Big Bang in reverse. And the science behind it involves something called dark energy, a mysterious force that makes up about 70% of the universe. For years, dark energy has been thought to be pushing everything apart, but according to the study, dark energy might not keep expanding forever. Eventually, it could slow down and even reverse, pulling everything back in.
I feel like we're wheeling you into the mental ward right now, and you're like just telling us this stuff. Come on, Grandpa.
So when's the universe's death date? Energy! Scientists estimate the Big Crunch could happen in about 33 billion years. That gives us roughly 20 billion years before things start to get weird.
Thank God we'll be gone. You want to see it? You want to be here?
That's too long.
So I think we need to start, we need to start getting our affairs in order.
Oh, man.
But of course, long before any cosmic shrinking starts, our sun will have died and our galaxy will probably have merged with the neighboring Andromeda galaxy. Plus, scientists say there's still a lot of uncertainty. Future space missions might prove this theory wrong and the universe could keep expanding forever. I don't know, but I'm going to start getting my stuff ready.
Have you seen that whole model about the galaxies coming together? Like when that's going to happen and what it looks like?
Isn't that what he's talking about?
No. This is well before that.
Well before the Big Crunch.
Right. They're saying our galaxy is, kind of on a collision course with Andromeda, like he's talking about, and it's going to go, and when it crosses, there's however many billions of stars in each galaxy, they kind of cross, and all the gravitational pulls just sling, and it's like this big, giant, soupy mess where it does this thing and takes a few million years to sort of settle back into a singular solar system or a singular galaxy. And they put all the models together. You know, the computer models can figure out all the gravitational winging and all that kind of stuff. And dude, it is crazy looking, super fun. Look that up. It's the galaxies kind of combining.
I don't know. I kind of like all that nerd stuff.
I do too. 8 minutes and 20 seconds is how long it takes the light to reach the Earth from the sun. So we will know that the sun has already had its implosion or whatever, but we will have 8 minutes to get our affairs in order for real.
If the sun explodes?
Yeah.
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
What am I going to do?
What would you do with that final 8 minutes?
Well, watch out, Scott.
What?
You better protect your booty.
Oh, my.
What?
And it was
No,
the target.
You're going to go shave his head.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of booties, have you heard this new term called bathroom camping?
Yes.
Isn't that what Grandpa does?
You see what this is all about?
I saw the headline, but is it just people camping out on their phones? Like, what's bathroom camping?
Oh, it's so hot now in the office. It's the hot trend now in all the offices.
Hemorrhoid City.
No, it's when the bathroom is your safe space.
Uh-huh.
And you don't need to use the toilet or even the sink. You just want to get away.
Yeah.
It's funny. We have an email about that, actually.
Bathroom camping?
Yeah. Well, he was a former bathroom camper, essentially. But this show changed his life.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, so people are doing this bathroom camping to avoid work. But it's also done at parties, events, even home, especially if you got kids or your extended families in town. And people are almost bragging about how easy it is to just go to the bathroom and take a mental break and just hit the reset button. So that's what we're doing now. We're just hiding out in the bathroom. And now we have a term for it. I've done before.
Yeah. Just get the hell away from everybody. It's fine.
I mean, I didn't know we had to have some clever term, cutesy term called bathroom camping.
In the 80s.
Taking a break
well,
from everybody.
It's just a truth reveal. Because in the 80s, we were all convinced that, like, once you're a dad, it takes forever to poop. My God, those guys are just being tortured in there.
Right.
And then you realize, wait a second, they got guns and ammo magazines and all that in there because they're getting away from us.
Yeah.
Jerry's got popular mechanics in his little
That's what I'm
Still,
saying. And they're just going to drop deuce and get away.
Get some quiet time.
From
This
us.
is where I do my magazine reading.
Exactly.
I mean, this is essentially why I take a bath, though. You know, like whenever I need to get away from Tim, no cats, I just want to be on my phone in the tub, either listening to a podcast, doing Wordle.
Right.
And that's bathroom camping, but that's a bath. That's just having a bath.
Remember when we were kids, you just think, man, when you get old, what happens to people's gastrointestinal tracts that they
sit there.
I mean, yes, there are those
They're in there
issues
for
as well.
40
Things start to break
minutes.
down.
There
though.
are those issues as well.
They haven't
but,
hit me yet, bruh. I could be in and out if I want. This is me time.
But I just want to focus on the the work situation. People just like having to get away from their desk and just camp out in the bathroom.
It's like a smoke break.
That's pretty sad.
You want to hear this email?
Yeah, sure.
The funny thing about this is we changed this guy's life. Says, I just wanted to thank the show on behalf of my wife because ever since you talked about the man in China and his prolapsed
Oh yeah.
the pink sock, I can't
Prolapse his anus.
I can't spend much time on the toilet anymore. My wife usually complained about how I'm escaping from the kids and getting away from her, but those days are behind me. Thanks. Love the show, Josh.
Good. We're saving anuses. Mm-hmm. Well, the story was last week, and I think you were here for that, Rafe? That discussion
What was it?
where the guy in China sat on the toilet for so long his beehole turned inside out.
I did not believe I was here for that.
Heed this morning.
Like his butthole.
I said he this morning. I go, how did you
No,
know?
heed.
this morning.
Heed this morning.
No, his anus prolapsed and it was sticking out
Yeah.
5 inches.
And they had to trim it down.
Yeah, bad news.
That's there used to be a video called College Blowout on Rotten.com that showed like a weightlifter
Oh yeah,
prolapse his and blew through his like neoprene suit and everything, like ripped the whole. It was crazy.
Oh, my God.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy, and that's been burned into my mind.
Oh,
I think
no,
about it often.
I pushed that down in my brain
You
somewhere.
seen it? You know what I'm talking
I
about?
know exactly what
and
you're
it
talking
is,
about.
dude. It looks like a volcano.
Oh, it's disgusting. It is horrible.
He pushed. Yeah, I mean, he had like 500, 600 pounds on the weight bar. Went to push it up and just.
Uh-oh.
It was like an airbag going off.
Yeah, that's a uh-oh moment. straining. But the fact that people are doing it at work, it's sad. It's sad. I just want you guys to be happy.
Yeah.
Now, if you want a happy job, if you want a place where everybody's happy, a new poll of shift workers found the happiest hourly job that you could have. So talking about shift work, where's the happiest place to work?
The puppy store.
The puppy store.
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh, but that's got to be awful. You're constantly falling in love and giving them away.
I know.
No, I got the top. I have the top 10 happiest industry sectors and the top 10 unhappiest industry sectors. Animal health is towards the bottom. Animal health is the third unhappiest place to be.
Yeah, you got to put animals
You
down.
got to put animals down. I get that.
And they're always injured or something's always wrong.
Yeah.
So would delivery drivers be a part of this?
Delivery and postal services, unhappy.
Oh,
Number
like
two,
UPS was
Really?
number
the
two,
happiest.
unhappy.
Such cool trucks.
Sorry, Weirdo John.
Where is the happiest place to work? There's one. There's
Got it.
one.
I got it.
There's one
Michael's.
sector. There's one sector that it's on both lists.
Michael's Craft Stores.
Crafts.
Number one.
No.
Dang it.
There's one industry that's on both lists, happy and unhappy.
Strip club. Because you're making a ton of money, and
No,
that's cool.
and
But then there's
but
really
yet it's-
bad slobs shoving them into
No.
your G-string.
Theme park employees.
No, the happiest place to work is
Home
the
Depot.
most obvious.
Grocery
Go ahead.
stores.
The
The
bakery.
well,
Bar.
you're kind of close.
Really? Okay.
Food?
It is not food.
Pastries.
It is not food.
It's a bar.
But it's
It is
close.
not a
The
bar.
liquor store.
Actually, you know what? Cafe and coffee shop was number 3.
Right on.
Okay, there we go. That's
Pastries are
good.
sold there.
Yeah, you
Bookstore.
go around smelling like coffee.
Catering was number 2.
Oh.
Catering,
They don't seem happy.
but they are
No.
very
Well,
90%
they make a
of
lot of
people.
money.
90% of employees are happy about it.
It's because they're selling weed on the side. Weed store.
Weed store number 1.
Hello. Makes sense. They're always so happy at the
I don't get
dispensaries.
paid much, but the perks are so
90,
tight.
almost 92% of weed or vape store employees are extremely happy with
That
what they do.
tracks because every time, I mean, I go in and they're always bubbly and happy and probably high.
Because they're
So,
living it.
THC, the happy company.
and they're helping people. you know?
92% of weed and vape store employees feel, quote, good or amazing about their job.
Good or amazing.
I love it. That's great.
Well,
So it's marijuana stores, catering, cafes, coffee shops, dentists. Dentists love
Torturing people.
yeah, they love that.
working in the dental office.
You know, that's good. Could you imagine being a dentist? Like, I talk to mine all the time. I'm like, oh, you got to see just some nasty black teeth, like people, and then the gross mouth smells.
Yeah, but that's probably great.
I know they probably love that.
That's
They
what I'm saying.
They're
Like,
like
ooh, look
chiseling
at
it
that.
out.
Get in there.
Ooh.
Let me get in there.
You know, that's a cave full of gold.
That's right.
And then gym employees are very happy. The unhappiest industry sectors, number 1, pharmacies and chemists.
You said,
Very unhappy
you said
people.
unhappy?
Unhappy.
Dude, it's so many hours.
Yep. And
Big
then
pharma.
A lot of these companies are closing down locations, so everyone's overworked.
Pharmacies. I mean, you're constantly probably getting yelled at. You have to deal with a lot of old people.
Sick people. Again, it's kind of like
Sick
the veterinarian.
old people. Ugh.
Yeah.
Plus prices. Like you're on the front lines of what medicine costs. There's a lot of people getting there, finding out their prescription's going to be $300 out of pocket.
And most of the people you're seeing are sick.
yeah, and they're not happy.
They're not happy unless you go in there for Viagra or something like that.
And it's also like my brother-in-law's a pharmacist, and they have to pick out the dates for their vacation a year in advance. So you can't just randomly say, hey, I'm going to take, I need a day off.
That
they can't
sucks.
take that off.
They make good money, though.
They make good money, and I think
Yeah.
they deserve every penny they get.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they work really hard.
And they're smart. Pharmacists are smart.
Having to deal with all those old people. But they get to use that cool butter knife to count out pills, which
True.
Which is so
Cool butter
sweet.
is sweet.
That is a perk.
All right, delivery and postal services, animal health, doctor's office / medical clinic, unhappy, and then other healthcare practitioners rounded out the top 5. Actually, the only one that made both the happiest list and the unhappiest list, people that work at firearm stores. Hourly employees at community centers, sit-down restaurants, and gun shops also ranked high in satisfaction.
Yeah, I mean, because you're arming people so that you feel like you're helping people stay secure, but then you see the news and so many people get shot all the time. That has to make you feel like crap.
So gun store workers, the only job that made both lists. 9% feel stressed or frustrated at work. So it's one where you either love it or you don't. There's no in between. But we always talk about, having a good work-life balance. I remember when companies were trying to cater to the idea of a work-life balance. So according to the Wall Street Journal, there's a surge of job listings that specifically say, we do not offer any balance and only have a ton of work to be done. So the postings may say they're looking for somebody who could keep up with an unrelenting pace, or that they want somebody who's eager to be in the office as much as possible. They also may stress long hours, competitive business environment, and the importance of hustle.
Oh, dude, did you see there's an entire campaign from Anduril? Have you seen that? Anduril's like a defense company, drones and different things, and huge, and they've grown enormous. And their whole hiring campaign is about this. It's like people saying, "Oh yeah, I hate working tons of hours," and it says, "Don't work at Anduril."
Okay, so one healthcare company,
and the other one's like, "I hate being out in the field and working outside and doing this," and it says, "Don't work at Anduril."
So one healthcare company, the ad even says, "Quote: If you're looking for work-life balance, this isn't it."
Yeah, that's their whole campaign is like they're looking for badass hustlers that are going to work their ass off to make this company even bigger.
Right. The one expert says they're testing the limits of what they can ask of their employees, knowing how hungry people are to work. So the pendulum is swung and companies are in control again.
Well, that's that whole saying of like, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. The marketing on that phrase in itself has set us up for this.
Speaking of Anduril, have you seen the guy that is the CEO of that company? This
Anduril?
defense company?
No.
Which one?
Anduril.
Yeah, but which one?
Palmer Luckey.
Oh, okay.
The
His
founder.
name is Palmer?
His name is Palmer Luckey, dude, and he looks like
He kinda looks like a
he
cowboy.
has Heelys on and plays hacky sack. This guy's, and he specializes in non-manned drones that can recognize enemy combatants and kill them without human help. It's totally AI. And when they were I saw an interview with him on 60 Minutes where he was talking about it, and basically he looks like he's got a soul patch, reverse Mr. T mohawk on his chin, wears a Hawaiian shirt and cargo shorts. He looks like he would be front row at a Fish concert. And this guy's
oh yeah, okay, I've seen this guy before.
This dude, and when he talks, he's like, AI's the future, man. You better get on board with it if you don't like it. This guy clearly, if he lived in his mom's basement still, I would not be surprised by it at all.
That company is killing it.
And somehow, he's jumped the McDonnell Douglases and Boeings and Raytheons and all of these people that have been in works with the government and in huge defense contracts for years have had that locked down, and somehow this guy's
weaseled his way in
with AI and drones. And it's like a big look at that guy. The guy's that guy,
incredible.
Palmer Luckey,
is in charge of sending unmanned drones to kill enemy combatants, and he looks like a Jack Black character.
Yeah, he looks
and
like
he's
he's on
wearing
the
a
side stage
Hawaiian
of Point
shirt.
Fest.
He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah,
and
he's the founder. He's
in
not
his founder profile picture.
He's not as in charge. I mean, there's a team of people.
Yeah, but he's the guy. He's the guy that got him
the
in.
organization.
He created the tech.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These are the people.
He's the
you don't
Robert Downey
understand.
Jr. character.
If you see this guy in high school,
This is Iron Man.
don't be
in
his
real
enemy.
Life. Yeah, this is the real life Iron Man.
Exactly,
Palmer
yeah.
Luckey.
So that company's like, hey, if you want a good work-life balance, this ain't the company.
Their
for you.
campaign is don't work at Anduril.com.
Whoa. Whoa.
But it seems like that guy has a good work-life balance. That's why I was like, he seems like the kind of guy that's kicking it on the weekends. He's coming to work in a Hawaiian shirt. He's got a big soul patch.
I think he's having his weekends at the office.
Yeah, this is the kind of guy that probably doesn't know how to enjoy himself, and him putting on a Hawaiian shirt maybe is his only joy in life. I don't know.
He's like the anti-Steve Jobs. He's like, instead of a black shirt every day, black turtleneck, I'm going to wear like a wild shirt.
Somebody get me another Hawaiian shirt.
I don't know.
And a guy in a shirt like this, use AI in a nefarious way? Come on.
And finally, before we move on, if you're looking for true enjoyment, head out to Pittsburgh this weekend.
All right.
Because, yes, Balls Out Bowling is back. It's the ultimate bowling experience. The Pittsburgh area naturalists are hosting another Balls Out Bowling event where you could bowl naked. This will be at the Crafton Ingram Lanes in Pittsburgh on Saturday. The event is for anybody over the age of 18. Whether you're a seasoned pro or beginner, this event is for everybody. Think about this, for $30, 4 hours of unlimited bowling and shoe rental, $30.
It's a great deal.
It's pretty good.
Huh.
I'm not sure how much lanes are going for.
I think it's like $20 or $25 a game, dude.
A game? Dude, $30, 4 hours of unlimited naked bowling?
Yeah.
Do they have the
Great.
cool lights going? So you don't really have to see anybody? You could just have fun.
I think lights are on. Nudity is required, with the exception that women can wear bottoms.
Well, that's nice. Because we don't have balls,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to see
you know,
that.
so we can't, you know.
But as for Rafe, as somebody that's done stand-up at the 40 Acre Club, the nudist resort close to here,
I've seen some sports being played.
they love naked sports. Love naked sports.
Yeah, the body
I saw a
handles, the
dad and
body
a son
adjusts.
playing pickleball against each other. And it was something I'll never unsee.
I'm just imagining all these naked people in just bowling shoes.
Isn't any sport naked pickleball? You know what I'm saying?
Kind of.
I'm just imagining the seats. You know, they always have those plastic chairs that you
But that's
sit
easy.
on.
They can just wipe those down.
Yeah,
That's
just
good.
spray 'em
That's-
down.
I'm imagining the finish, like where your legs behind you and you just released the ball and you're kind of in that bent over position.
Yeah, you don't
like
want to
that's
still shots. What's your baseball card going to look like?
everything's out. It gives the 7-10 split a whole new meaning.
But just imagine all these naked people in just bowling rental shoes.
Eating nachos.
You know what I can imagine? I can imagine that little hand dryer thing not being just a hand dryer.
Oh, and just
For your understack?
Oh yeah.
What is-
Oh yeah, you squat over that thing.
That's what I'm saying. I just
Nobody mess with the Jesus.
kind of
Right.
put one leg up and
Oh yeah.
You said it, man.
Also in Kingpin, whenever they walk into that big tournament in Vegas, and he's like, look at all these incredible athletes. And you see guys sitting there smoking and eating gross food, and those are the guys you're going to be bowling next to. It's going
Oh,
to be nice.
it's $30 whether you bowl or not. So $30 if you want to bowl, or $30.
It's a $30 gawking fee.
Or if you just want to, but you have to be naked.
You know, some moron's going to be like, oh, let me try to pick this ball up with my dong. And then he's like shoving his wiener into one of the
One of the
thumb
one of the
holes.
thumb holes.
Surely
No
not.
thanks.
Don't give
Think about
anybody
that
an
next time you
ideas.
go bowling. What's been inside of this?
Man,
Stop
Also-
giving them ideas.
Sexual activity is not permitted.
16-pounder.
Wait, why? What's the need of even saying that? Who would have thought that would have gone down?
Those running the event say nudism does not equal consent and harassment will not be taken lightly.
Good.
Violators will be asked to leave. Although I'd love to see a naked person try to remove somebody from the premises. That's also got to be something to...
You don't think the security guards are fully clothed?
No, everybody's naked.
Even the
I
security
wonder where they hide their
guards.
weapons.
Everybody's...
You just have your gun
they just got
hoist.
the belt on.
Yeah.
They just have the belt and holster.
And a hat.
And
Your police
a
hat.
sheriff's badge. I don't know, taped to their
Taped
chest.
to your chest, yeah.
Oh no, you wear like the necklace, like a
Okay.
detective,
Ah, yes. Like in CIS.
like the badge around your neck, like a detective,
Oh, you can just take a magic marker and write staff on your back.
sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
And put an arrow towards the front.
So right.
Thank you.
The event is ticketed. So if you want to head out to the Balls Out Bowling event in Pittsburgh, just look it up and just buy your tickets. $30.
Hey, anybody else have this thought? This just reminded me. Remember the staff shirts? You know, like you were YMCA staff or day camp staff or whatever. There was always like a T-shirt that said staff for some reason. Did you ever see those as a kid and go, man, I really want one of those?
Yeah, I thought those were so
I
cool.
really want a job where I get a shirt that says
Especially like
staff.
the lifeguard one.
Yeah, like they were so attractive.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a shirt that said staff on it.
Well,
What
you're
was of meaning.
missing out. I don't. I'm just telling you. Like I had this strange thought when I was a kid, thinking, "Man, that's the top."
Have you had a job? What?
Yeah, bro. The day camp thing. I made it happen.
And
I
it
made
said
that dream
staff?
come true.
I've never had a job that said staff on it.
Oh, we need a
Where I
Rizzuto
wore a
shirt.
shirt.
Yeah,
that
we
says
gotta have a
staff, and it's
Rizzuto
only
staff
for
shirt.
us.
But that's not of any meaning.
Yeah, we're staff.
It's of great authority, and you can get anywhere with a staff shirt.
Yeah, I've never had a shirt that said staff on the back.
Check the back, brother.
That actually
Staff.
meant I was staff at a particular place.
Rafe would have got on the bus if he was just wearing a shirt that said staff on the
No
back.
way.
Yep, and a whistle. You gotta have a whistle around your neck.
Not on that bus.
Not on Willie's bus, huh?
I could have had a shirt on that said doctor. It wouldn't let me on there.
No.
I don't know the staff
That's-
thing.
That's nice, everybody, to try to get you on, but
That was nice.
alas. Oh, staff. STAPH, yes. All right, Teamers Remember the Day is brought to us by Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill, the official sports bar of the Riz Show. Check out their brand new stacked menu at hotshotsnet.com. From Dittmer, Missouri, love this name, Seth Fear.
Yes,
Street magician.
Fear is my last name. Seth started listening to the Woody and Riz Show back in the day with his mom on the way to school. Probably shouldn't have been. Seth misses Jeff like crazy. Enjoys Moon's legendary singing voice. That's nice.
Thanks, man.
How Lern makes the show look better. That's nice.
Oh, that's very nice.
He loves that King Scott makes it a priority to be himself. And that I may be an ass, but man, wouldn't you want him as a boss? Okay. Probably not. And yes, Rafe, nothing for you.
That tracks.
What's this kid's name? Nick Fear?
Seth Fear.
Seth Fear.
Middle name, no.
That
the
is
bus driver for
sweet.
Willie.
Seth Fear from Dittmer is our Teamers Remember the Day. Get super sweet Teamers Remember the Day soccer jersey. Get yourself signed up 1057thepoint.com/Team Riz. All right, we got news after the break. Travel and Leisure has a new #1 city in America for the first time in 12 years. TSA, yes, made it official yesterday. And basically an aviation news segment. Man dies after being sucked into airplane engine.
No, again?
yeah.
How do these things happen?
Yeah. And
They need to like add some noise or something. to
this
that.
is... Yeah, wait till you hear this story. A gentleman by the name of Nick Lang's going to be here in just a little bit. Nick is the owner of Vitali's Hideaway in Warden, Illinois. That is the bar that was featured on our episode of Bar Rescue.
Yes, the season finale.
Season 9, episode 40.
We're a big deal.
Yeah, we should mention it was the season finale. Saved the best for
But you
last,
did.
huh? So Nick's going to be in here answering all our Bar Rescue questions that we have.
My in-laws played the episode at their 4th of July celebration.
Oh, they did. Oh,
yeah.
so everybody gathered around?
Everybody gathered around.
God,
Everybody's
how
very
embarrassing.
impressed. My mother-in-law's like, oh, that's what Riz looks like.
Oh.
She thought you were very cute.
Yikes.
Big yikes. I said, that's what his hair normally doesn't look like because he wears a hat to work every day.
Did you say the camera adds 8,000 pounds? To,
You look nice. Stop this.
Well, we'll talk Bar Rescue in just a little bit with Nick. Hey, if you saw an injured bear on the side of the highway.
Ah, my dream.
Oh, is it?
No, I mean, I don't want them to be injured. I want to see a bear, but I want to be safe about it.
You have to go tie a get well soon balloon on its wrist.
Here's a pro tip.
Okay.
You should try your best to be a good person, just not too good. So a guy in Northern California saw an injured bear on the side of the road. So he decided to help it. And it mauled him immediately.
Yeah. Well,
Worth it.
you got to learn.
Oh,
You
it's
live and you
hurting.
learn.
It's going to accept this help.
Well, if we've learned anything as a species,
Easy
it's
there,
a wounded
big fella.
animal is a calm animal.
Easy. Oh, I did say easy there, big fella.
Whoa.
I'm a friend.
I come to you as a friend.
I come in peace.
So it happened late last month in Humboldt County near the Oregon border. They didn't release the guy's name, but he's 59 years old. One report said he saw the bear get hit by a car. But a later report said he hit the bear with his car, felt guilty about it.
He did see it.
And got out to render aid. And he tried to give it a boost up over a concrete barrier on the side of the road. This guy's an idiot.
What an idiot.
This wasn't a cub, by the way. This was a full-grown, 400-pound black bear.
That he hit.
Right.
What a dummy.
And the bear didn't know if he was trying to help because, you know.
Because it just hit him.
It's a wild animal,
It's a
too.
bear.
Yeah, and you just hit him with a car. You just hurt him. He's going to assume that you're here to finish the kill.
So, well, he's trying. This bear doesn't know what's going on. It just
I'm
got
just saying.
smoked by a car.
Nature's probably like,
dying on
"Wow."
the side of the road. This idiot, probably hippie from Oregon, Northern California. Oh, I'm good with animals. He gets out. He tries to pick this thing up and get it over a concrete barrier, so it chomps down on his left forearm.
You're not even supposed to move a deer. Like, we hit a deer on the way to a music festival, and it was in the middle of the road, and it was like a dark turn in the middle of nowhere, Illinois, and I was like, oh, we got to get it out of there. Something's going to hit this thing and crash. So we went over, and I thought it was dead, and we approach it, and I'm about to grab its legs and drag it off, and it goes, "Bleh!"
Have we not seen Tommy Boy?
Yeah, dude, it was just like that. It jumped up and it didn't even get to his feet, but it scared the heck out of me. I was like, well, see you later.
So luckily for this idiot, an off-duty EMT happened to be coming by, saw this guy in big trouble. Again, the bear chomped down on his left forearm multiple times. They had to apply a tourniquet. No details on his condition. As far as the bear goes,
He's a rug.
He had a gun?
Yeah, the bear had a gun.
bear had a
Oh,
gun
man.
and shot the
It was
EMT
crazy.
too.
He's on the loose.
Yep.
I was trying to find it. There's an old story a news story about a guy that saw a dog on the side of the highway. It was injured, and he picked it up to take it to the vet and got it in his car, and then didn't realize it was a bear, and it like woke up in the straight up Tommy Boy. What was the movie where
It was
the deer
Tommy Boy.
tore his car to pieces? Like the bear woke up. And I don't know if it was full grown or like it was an adolescent or what, but it was like a 200-pound bear. And he thought it was a dog, and he was going to take it to the vet, like Good Samaritan. And the bear woke up in his backseat, tore him up, tore his car up. He had to like get out of the car, and then the bear just like exited the vehicle.
I don't know what this guy's thinking.
Yeah,
It's a 400-pound
he knew
black
at least. At least this guy thought it was a dog. This guy knew it was a bear.
But is this one of these delusional animal lovers that,
Yes.
hey, I come in peace?
It's my people. Yeah. We all get mauled one day.
Hey,
Yeah.
they're more scared of us than we are of them.
Well, yeah, we know, Lern. Eventually your cats will eat you. That's
Well, yeah. That's why I don't go hiking, dude. Like, I know myself.
I saw a dude when we were at Yosemite. We saw a black bear in like an empty creek bed, and it had those big boulders, like big. And this dude was in like flip-flops, like shower slides. Why, I don't know. And the bear like went away from the people. It was probably like 50 yards from us, which was plenty close to see the bear and be like, I saw a bear. That's cool. That's as close as I need to get.
yeah, that's it.
Went through the woods. This guy like hops the railing and starts following the bear across the creek bank into the woods. I'm like, man, if that bear kills you, I don't feel bad for you.
Yeah.
Because you're wearing flip-flops.
And you're wearing flip-flops. If you got to run and you hit one of these boulders, it's over, dude. You're going down. The
You're in
bear's
Yosemite.
gonna.
Oh, we have stories all the time of people,
I just think-
getting too close to bison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people think it won't happen to me.
And hiking
We
in
watch too many
flip-flops.
Disney movies or something.
You deserve
Exactly.
whatever's coming.
I agree.
Something's coming, bruh. It's a slip or a bear or something, but
Snake bite.
something's going to teach you that closed-toed shoes.
Yeah, you can't run in flip-flops. What are you doing?
You can't do anything in
You
flip-flops.
can't do anything in flip-flops.
That's for not burning your feet on the sand.
That's
it.
It's for poolside.
He had
Or the
socks.
beach.
There was socks and shower slides too, which is like even
What are you, 14?
more egregious.
Let's do some news.
Oh, yeah. We gonna do some news.
So, Travel and Leisure put out its annual list of the top U.S. cities to visit. And for the first time since 2012, congratulations to another city besides Charleston, South Carolina, not being number one.
Uh-oh.
180,000 readers voted. And the new best city in America to visit is Santa Fe, New Mexico.
It's a great town.
You've been?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Just talking
love
about
New
it.
Mexico.
That's that whole
Santa Fe is pretty cool. man.
Southwest Wiccan vibe, dude. It's cool down there.
Santa Fe?
We're
That
playing
whole
Never
area,
thought.
Taos, Santa Fe, that whole like southwestern United States vibe is very.
Well, Charleston, South Carolina was the #1 place to visit since 2012.
They couldn't be more different.
no.
Charleston
Santa Fe.
and Santa Fe.
I mean, except for like the shops and that kind of stuff.
I was in Myrtle Beach and I was asking because I'd never been, and I was like, Myrtle Beach feels like Destin East. Like it's in like the spring break town. I go, I'm assuming Charleston is like where the rich folks go. Like that's your Nantucket.
So Myrtle Beach.
This is Panama City.
Myrtle Beach is where a lot of people from New York and New Jersey go.
Yeah.
That's their Destin.
It felt like like Panama City or Destin for people on the northern seaboard. A lot of people from like D.C., New York, Boston.
Yeah, that's Myrtle Beach. That's the place. They'll go past the Jersey Shore because nobody wants to go there, and just keep going to Myrtle Beach.
And then the native South Carolinians told me that Charleston, Hilton Head is where
Hilton Head, yes, that's where the rich folk.
The rich folk hoity-toits go.
Well, so Santa Fe scored high thanks to 300 days of sunshine, excellent food options, and natural beauty. Charleston fell to #3 this year.
Ooh, took a hit.
Took a hit. So the top U.S. cities to visit in 2025 are Santa Fe, New Orleans,
Yes.
Charleston, Savannah, Georgia, Alexandria, Virginia, Honolulu, Greenville, South Carolina, New York City, Asheville, North Carolina, and Chicago. Congratulations, Chicago.
Carolinas are killing it, though, in the top 10.
Yeah.
They got 5 cities in there. That's wild.
One of the best sandwich shops I've ever had in my entire life was in Charleston. I think it was Little John's or something like that.
Asheville's a good town. I did their comedy festival, and it's cute.
Sure it wasn't Jimmy John's?
I'm sure. I assure you. The bread was acceptable.
bread was
The
acceptable.
bread was bread.
Hey, speaking of traveling, after we talked about this yesterday. After initial speculation, it was announced that the TSA will allow people to keep their shoes on as they go through security checkpoints. It's now official. The Homeland Security Secretary made the official announcement on yesterday following rumors about the changes. She said during a press conference, it's important that we find ways to keep people safe, but also streamline and make the process more enjoyable for every single person. So TSA first implemented the no shoes policy back in 2006, almost 20 years ago. And in those 20 years, she said our security technology has changed dramatically. It has evolved. So 2006, we've been keeping our shoes on for almost 20 years now. And the rule came a couple years after that Richard Reed guy, the British guy who had become known as the shoe bomber, tried to blow up an American Airlines flight from Paris to Miami with explosives hidden in his shoe in December of 2001.
Yeah.
He failed to detonate the explosives. The plane landed safely in Boston after passengers were like, nope, not this again. They beat the hell out of him. He wound up pleading guilty to terrorism charges. And what's he up to now? He's serving a life sentence at a Supermax prison in Colorado. A flight from San Juan, Puerto Rico to Dallas was unexpectedly diverted after a misunderstanding between seat neighbors caused a pretty major security scare. So here's what happened. About 30 minutes after takeoff, a passenger noticed their seatmate got a text message with the phrase RIP and assumed it was a threat to the flight. Concerned, they alerted the crew, prompting the plane to return to Puerto Rico as a precaution. Authorities inspected the plane, questioned the passenger who received the text. It turns out the message was simply from a relative expressing condolences after a family death.
Oh, no.
Nothing related to the flight. So the airline and the airport officials say all proper protocols were followed. There was never any real danger. After being cleared by law enforcement, the flight continued on to Dallas. American Airlines apologized to the travelers for the inconvenience and emphasized that safety will always come first.
Oh, that's nice.
If you saw somebody get that text message, RIP, Would you think anything of it?
No. I mean, that could mean a million things.
Yeah, like the seat.
Like if they were acting just normal, I don't know. Why are you reading somebody's texts?
Well, it's hard
going
not
on?
to sometimes. Some people are very in your face. I wanted to kill this guy on the flight home Monday.
Why?
He's just, I was on Delta. They bought my ticket, and the guy got Comfort Plus, which just means you're sitting up front.
Right.
And it was one of those Delta planes with 3 seats on one side and 2 on the other, so it was a little smaller, that's why I don't like Delta. You never know what you're going to get. And I was the middle seat, and the dude was hogging the armrest. Like this guy, he's a banker in Richmond Heights.
You were middle seat.
I was middle seat. He's a banker in Richmond Heights. Putting that out there.
Okay.
And he was just Abe Lincoln elbows, like out, had his little papers. And the reason I know is because he was being so dramatic with like the stuff he was reading. Like flipping through papers. And there's like confidential papers that said confidential all over them. Well, let me tell you something, people. This guy's not keeping your stuff confidential at all. Because I could read it.
It's
And
out
he
for
was sticking
everybody.
it in the back of the airplane seat in front of him where I could like read the people's names. And I'm like, hey, man, this says like red writing, like restricted access, confidential. He just wanted everyone to know he was reading like top secret stuff.
Yes. Very important man.
And he was picking his nose and rolling his boogs. Everything wrong with
Over
this
the
guy.
line.
And I'm like, dude, look, I don't care if you do a little, I got allergies. I got itchies. But this guy was doing like finger deep in. And I was just like, dude, you're so gross. And then he had this. I'm a big dude. I was definitely like the biggest guy, and I was like almost like doing the Nosferatu, like holding my own chest, trust fall style, to stay out of everybody's way. And this guy just boom had his elbows out, dude, like he was Dennis Rodman screening me out for a rebound. And I was like, man, this guy sucks.
Yeah, listen, sometimes, I guess your row mate. I guess maybe they would have their phone propped up, on the tray table, and you happen to take a glance over and you see R.I.P.
Yeah.
I don't know if are you telling
No.
I'm probably not.
No, man.
Right. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm probably not even looking.
now, if they got like a,
you keep your eyes over there.
But let's say
I'm
you
keeping my eyes over here.
glance over and you see, a text message that says R.I.P.
Dude, I was,
It could be 1,000 different contexts.
you gotta ignore it, right?
I just
I
don't.
got a lady next to me, dude, and she's, I had like a husband and wife next to me on the other flight I was on, and she had like I don't know what size font, but jitterbug font on the phone, dude. And it was like a billboard next to me. And I just saw her like, she was holding it like this to her face and facing me and typing like this like with her hand up. And it was like, I've already been told not to talk about Trump in front of Connie's daughter. And I was like, oh, they're going to a family reunion. They're laying the ground rules down. And it was like just huge. Like, and I was like, I don't want to like be in your business, lady, but like, you're making it my business. So, like, you're going to see stuff on a plane. It's just too close quarters. There's nowhere to look.
Well, so there's that story. So they turned the plane around. It was a misunderstanding. An Allegiant Airlines flight from Florida to Virginia had to make an emergency landing after one passenger claimed that his laptop was a bomb. This happened on Sunday.
Now, that's a little different. If somebody's claiming they have a bomb.
right.
FBI detectives said that a 27-year-old guy was arrested after the flight returned to St. Petersburg. Several other passengers said they overheard him saying he had a bomb. And whether he was joking or not, he's now facing 5 years in jail and a $25,000 fine.
Dang.
Boom.
So that's a bit on the nose.
Just for saying it.
Yeah, man.
Just
5
for saying
years
it.
just for
Haven't
saying
seen-
it.
5 years
haven't
just
you
for
seen
saying it.
Haven't you seen Meet the Parents?
Yeah.
Can't do that.
And finally, as far as aviation news goes, there was chaos and tragedy.
Hey, by the way, when you say just for saying it, you're not just saying it. You're threatening the lives of hundreds of people.
I have a bomb in my laptop.
Right, which is a
I understand that, but I'm
a
saying
force
like,
of mass destruction, and you would. You're essentially threatening the lives of a few hundred
Right.
people.
There has to be a bit of context.
You cannot make threats.
sure, but you're also being imprisoned for speech.
Yes,
Whether
but,
I agree with it or not, that's like a serious thing.
but I can't, in front of any authority, say you can't just go in and say I'm going to kill you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Without repercussions. And this is I'm going to kill hundreds of people.
You going to jail.
Just an interesting It's an interesting thing to me.
Sky Law, man.
Minority Report.
For five, yeah, it's like, yeah, a little bit, you know. Like, I'm not saying I disagree or agree with it. I'm just saying it's an interesting.
Well, also the
thing
fact
to
they
me.
had to turn the plane around.
Yeah, that part sucks.
That part is also
Yeah, that's
that plays into it as well. So this was at the main airport in Milan, Italy, yesterday morning when a guy died on the runway. So check out these details.
Dude, how does this happen?
I'll tell you how this happened. 35-year-old guy, not a passenger or airport staff member, drove to the airport, abandoned his vehicle, ran into the terminal without a ticket, managed to bypass security, forced his way into a restricted area that leads to the runway. So 2 border police officers tried to stop him, but he broke free, sprinted onto the tarmac, headed straight for an Airbus A319 that was preparing for takeoff. Witnesses say he ran towards the aircraft and then threw himself into one of the plane's 2 jet engines while it was running.
So it was a suicide?
It was a suicide by plane engine.
Wow.
Holy cow.
man.
Creative smokes. That is one way to do it.
Whoa, right?
That is sad.
Were you just trying to
Very
make a
sad.
headline, or I mean, that is creative. Who thought that?
Well, the headline I read originally was "Man dies after being sucked into airplane engine." I go, "Oh man, a maintenance worker."
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
that's what I was
yeah.
thinking.
No, this man killed himself purposely, jumping into a plane engine.
Any other information? Any notes? Any Facebook
So
posts?
the
anything?
engine, capable of spinning at nearly 15,000 rotations per minute, sucked him in instantly. Passengers and staff watched in shock and horror as the guy was sucked into the left engine. The aftermath was as grisly as you can imagine. Our emergency team surrounded the plane while police and investigators began their work. Apparently, this guy had a history of drug problems. All 154 passengers and 6 crew on board the plane were unharmed, but the trauma, my God, is going to likely linger.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's a tough one. So last year, a mechanic in Iran, he was sucked into an engine. An airport worker in San Antonio last year died in a similar way after being sucked into an engine. In both cases, they were described as being, quote, ingested by the engines.
But man, why am I even interested? But put through? Like, are you coming out in dust or not?
Yeah, because had that one
It's
guy
gonna stop
with the
it.
helmet make it through, you know?
Right. Well, that was slightly different because that wasn't one of those Airbus engines. That was one of those side jet engine things.
Yeah, he just went in and came out the other side.
Right, but they said that the blade or
This is
whatever
the
it was
blade. This
hit
is the blade.
helmet.
15,000 rotations per minute.
So here's why I'm confused. I'm looking at the video of the aftermath, and they have essentially like a body bag, if you will, below the front of the engine. So I don't think he went through it. You see this? I think he went in, and then they pulled the rest of him out.
Oh, gosh.
You mean like
So that wasn't
like
flames?
cut him up?
I think he just killed him, and then they put it in, and the engine stopped. Obviously, like
Shut it down.
it broke it.
You think that
And-
would break that? You think that would break an engine like that?
It looks like they took the
tough a
thing off
guy
the
you
back. Like, look at that engine. You see how it's got the thing on the back?
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, so
So that's
think
empty. I think maybe he was inside it, and maybe there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Once you're in, you might be in,
And just
I see.
and they got to just
Chop
take it out and pull what's left out of there.
But I
I'm
mean,
sure not really
you just
much.
think, dust and soup, and I'm not seeing dust and soup, which I feel like is worse. I'd rather be dust and soup.
I'm hoping it was instant.
It's a terrible way.
Terrible way.
What would be the point of that?
I know, you're just...
Do you think he's gonna do you think his family will be able to sue the airport or something? Like, what? Why choose that method?
Just violent.
That's what I'm saying. Is there
And then
no
it traumatized the people on board. I don't know. They said, again, the guy had a history of drug problems, so probably not thinking very clearly.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, you got to be able to test, right? Are they going to test and say, like, yes, he was under the influence? Because let's hope
What
so.
can you test? Maybe at that.
Or dust and soup.
Yeah. I don't know if there's enough to test after that ending.
Oh, you're right. The whole
Took
back,
the back
of it
off the engine.
is
It's like,
off.
sir, could you blow into this?
Yeah.
Sure.
Wow, that's a big plane, guys. Not the biggest, but that's a big one.
Well, and finally, PETA, the animal rights group, they're suing the American Kennel Club.
Oh.
So PETA is taking the American Kennel Club to court, saying the club's rules for how certain dogs should look are making popular breeds like French bulldogs, pugs, and others unhealthy. So
is true.
Here's what's going on. So the American Kennel Club, they're the organization that sets the standards for what each dog breed should look like in the U.S. So these standards are like blueprints for breeders, telling them what features like the shape of the nose, the size of the head, the length of the back are most desirable. So breeders often try to produce puppies that fit these standards, especially for dog shows. But PETA, they say these standards are causing real health problems for some of these breeds. For example, French bulldogs and pugs often have flat faces, which can make it hard for them to breathe and cause overheating. Dachshunds have long backs and short legs, which can lead to serious spine and mobility issues. Shar-Peis can suffer from painful fevers and skin problems. So PETA argues that by encouraging these extreme features, the American Kennel Club is promoting the breeding of deformed, unhealthy dogs.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I do too. And they say it's time to change the rules so dogs can be healthier, even if it means they don't look exactly like the current breed standard.
It's like extend the nose.
Well, I mean, you would think that the whole industry would want to continue to refine, since you have control of breeding and all that you want to refine the best possible animal with the longest life span and the most efficient body and all these things. I mean, just like all the sport dogs, I have a sport dog, and it was bred over hundreds of years to do a very, very particular task and to do it as well as possible for as long as possible. And even they have issues because, any sort of purebred thing is going to have issues. But when you're breeding those French bulldogs, that's all we hear about is trouble with those things.
Yeah.
Trouble.
A lot of health problems.
Yeah, and I just feel like that's like really selfish of us.
What were you going to say, Lern?
I was just saying I agree with you guys. Like, I wish that it wasn't so strict, and these poor animals don't even know that they're being bred for that. And then they throw out the ones that don't look perfect, Those are the best ones.
Well, the American Kennel Club disagrees. They say its rules are based on years of work with veterinarian and breeders, and that responsible breeders produce healthy dogs. The club insists that dog health and welfare are at the core of their mission and say they've invested millions into dog health research. Now, this isn't just an American debate. Other countries like the UK and the Netherlands have already taken steps to limit or ban breeding dogs with extremely short noses or other exaggerated features because of health concerns.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about Norway and Germany? Flat-faced animals like bulldogs, Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, French bulldogs, English bulldogs, pugs, boxers, and Boston Terriers have been banned in Norway and Germany due to health issues and suffering caused by their characteristic short snouts and deformed skulls.
Yeah, the UK and Netherlands, too. So PETA's lawsuit brings new attention to how we think our pets, how we think about them, and what's best for their health. And the outcome could have an impact on how dogs are bred in the future and what our favorite breeds are going to look like for years to come. So I just thought it was an interesting, we're all dog lovers here.
Yeah.
It looks like Canada and Australia are kind of on their way to doing full bans as well.
Do hybrid dogs get into some of these shows?
No,
It's just AKC
only
registered?
purebreds. I mean, for like the Westminster one,
Yeah.
I mean, purebreds.
Because, man, some of these mashup breeds are so damn cute. Like the puggle. Rafe has a puggle. I had a puggle back in the
I
day.
have an Aussie Doodle.
Yeah, they're just so great.
Look at these.
They deserve their own little pageant.
Look at these two dogs.
Oh, ugly.
Yeah.
Damn.
So ugly they're cute, but good God.
Yeah.
Dude, I went to look at a condo or something the other day, and the neighbor had a one-eyed Boston Terrier. And I was like, that makes me want to live here. That dog is so freaking cute. It had one eye and was just looking at me.
Was it the eye in the middle of its head?
Boston's are
No,
so
it literally had like an eye removed, so it had like a little doggy eye patch on. And I was like, that's the cutest thing I've ever seen, a little pirate dog.
They fart so much, though.
Oh.
Which ones?
Boston Terriers.
Oh,
they
yeah.
do?
Well, they got
Oh,
the
yeah.
glands. They got
Gas problems. Ooh.
My
to-
girlfriend Elisa, I used to babysit her her Boston Bella. She's since passed, but I would take care of her. This was before I had cats and stuff. And that thing, it was so funny because she was like, all right, when you get up in the morning, she's like a crate trained dog, so she sleeps in her crate. When you arrive to her, do not be overexcited because she'll pee everywhere because they get like really excited and they pee. So I had to like be very calm and like let her out. And then when we got out and I was excited, I mean, she whizzed everywhere. She was the cutest damn thing.
Aww.
But yeah, farts were insane.
On the Schreier text line, 314, fun fact, Shar-Peis were originally bred for food.
Oh.
Apparently the wrinkles fry up good.
Ew.
Hey, that sounds
No.
good.
What?
Oh
Stop
my gosh.
this.
What website did we read that on?
I just looked it up. It is a common myth. So it's not like this person just made it up.
Okay.
Like it's a common myth, but not accurate.
Look at the dog jaw on this thing.
Oh.
Fry it up.
Two or three more countries, it looks like last year, added the ban to at least 20 breeds.
Originally, Shar-Peis were bred in southern China primarily as guard dogs and herding dogs, sometimes for hunting.
Yeah, you got to clean within their wrinkles.
Its loose, wrinkled skin and bristly coat help protect it from bites during fights with wild animals or intruders. But food myth, there is no historical evidence that Shar-Peis were specifically bred for food.
How many intruders are trying to bite the dogs?
The myth likely stems from the fact that in times of famine or hardship, some dogs of various breeds may have been eaten in rural China, as was the case in many parts of the world. However, this was not the purpose for which Shar-Peis were bred. There we go. And now you know. And that is your news. We took a journey, guys, today.
Thank you.
It was a
Didn't we?
great journey.
Great captain.
All right, listen, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk to Nick Lang, who owns Vitali's Hideaway out in lovely Warden, Illinois. And that is the bar that we helped rescue on season 9,
Yeah.
episode 40 of Bar Rescue, which
We're like
aired a couple weeks ago.
Firefighters at
We
this
are
point.
rescuers. All right, welcome back to the Riz Show. Joining us in studio, I should say TV star. TV star and owner and proprietor of Vitali's Hideaway in Warden, Illinois, Mr. Nick Lang.
Good morning. Good morning.
Nick, great to see you again, pal.
Great to see you guys. Great to be in the studio with you guys.
So, if you don't know, Lern and I were on an episode of Bar Rescue back on the 29th of June. Season finale.
Season 9.
Season 9, episode 40, available on I believe Amazon Prime if you want to watch it. But we were sent in as spies. How do you want to call it? Spies,
Yeah.
Forward
intel,
reconnaissance.
the
Recon.
recon team. That's
There
what
you
it is.
go.
The recon
Forward
team.
reconnaissance. That sounds less nefarious, right?
So we were sent out to a place called Slotsy's in Warden, Illinois, which I'd never been to.
I had been through Warden. I went to school at Illinois State, so I had to drive up there every now and then.
Nice.
And Slotsy's,
Been to Wordy Grow.
Nick owned
Yes.
Slotsy's, and Nick's Slotsy's was featured on Bar Rescue. So I want to ask you first. So this bar, Slotsy's, was in your family?
My father had owned it for many, many years, over 30 years, and he's still alive today. So I talk to him every morning before I go into work and on the way into my day job.
Right.
So
So owning Vitali's Hideaway, which is what it's called now after the Bar Rescue, this is not your full-time job?
it is not. No, I sell a lot of fiber optics and communications for company.
Moon, a fiber optics man.
Check this guy out.
Right.
Do a lot of I handle about all the contractors and data centers around. So a lot of fiber optic and communications infrastructure for inside plant and also outside plant.
So originally how this all came to be was, I guess the Bar Rescue people approached Rafe and they were like, hey, we'd like you to be on the show. And Rafe is not a drinker.
No, I should have lied because I wanted to come bad, but I told the truth. And then they were like, oh, we can't do an episode with you.
We can't. Yeah, we don't want teetotalers on Bar Rescue. So Lern and I are really the only ones that drink on the show. So prime candidates.
Yes. Love to be featured because I drink a lot.
Send our booze bags in for
Yeah.
you.
So as far as the process goes of being picked, we had to send like our bios, and we had to, send in headshots and stuff like that. We didn't know if we were going to get picked or not.
I know. And then when we were picked, I was like, oh, this confirms everything.
Right.
And
then when we were picked, they were like, all right, we're going to call you, and we'll tell you where to go 3 days before you're to start filming. Wow. So we filmed our piece of the episode on a Tuesday. We didn't find out we were going to Warden until Sunday.
Wow.
And there was an email saying, hey, this is the place. Don't tell anybody. Mm-hmm. You're going out to a place called Slotsy's. Because we were like, oh, it's going to be a St. Louis episode. Where are we going? Kirkwood? Mm-hmm. Where are we going? South City?
Right.
And when they said Warden, Illinois, I went, where the hell is this place?
Yeah.
Where is Warden?
It's only about 45 minutes from here at the radio station.
Right. So I had another 20 minutes from my house, so it's over an hour from Wildwood.
Yeah.
That's what he really wants to complain about.
That's what I really want to complain about. So we were supposed to shoot on a Tuesday evening. I think we were supposed to be there, 7 o'clock?
Mm-hmm. Evening.
Yeah, 7 o'clock in the evening. And again, not tell anybody what we were doing.
Right.
We were sworn to secrecy.
Yeah, we had to take the next day off. We couldn't tell anybody why. And had to be real mum about it.
Yeah.
What was your experience like? Tell us about the process of getting your bar on Bar Rescue.
So it was back in January 2024. I reached out to Bar Rescue and did a ton of interviews just to hopefully be selected. And we were lucky to be selected, and we were also even luckier to have the brand himself, John Tapp.
Well, yeah. Right? So your bar was in trouble.
Yeah.
It's like you were hemorrhaging money.
Every bar around there is struggling. When you have a population of 900 to 1,000, you try to see where you can pull in other people, whether it's from Litchfield, Illinois, which we're 17 minutes south of Litchfield, Illinois, or in Edwardsville.
Right.
We're 15 minutes north from the junction of 270 and Highway 55, literally right off the exit.
So you applied to be on there. So January of last year, we didn't shoot until June of last year. So it almost took a year for the episode after we shot it to come out.
It did, yes.
So you applied.
And then the interviews, were they in person or on the phone or FaceTime, or how did they interview you guys?
So a lot of it was on via WebEx, things of that nature.
Okay.
I'd have to,
So you had to give your story hey, I'm losing, how much money were you losing a month?
Yeah, I think roughly is about 4,000.
4,000 a month.
What they calculated and stuff like
Dang,
that.
so it's like $48,000 a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, when we drove out there, I remember, because your bar is in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
There's nothing around it. You get off the highway. What highway is that? Is that
55?
You get off 55
and exit 33, the Staunton Lebanon exit right there in Warden.
Well, it wasn't.
Used to be a blue building.
What with your dad owning Slotsy's before?
Right.
I mean, was it a destination spot? Because I heard so many people talk about it. Oh, I've been there before. Was it a destination? Even it was in this small community. Would people come out to see your dad's bar before?
Not really.
No.
I don't think people even really knew about it, and we're trying to keep getting exposure out there to let people know.
Was it I worked at Edwardsville at Lori's place for a long time, and there would always be poker runs. Wordy Gras is a huge thing. People don't know. There's a Mardi Gras party in Worden that is pretty big. It's pretty well, for that side of the river, it's pretty well populated. Did you make money on those weekends?
Yeah,
things like that?
Mardi Gras, since it's in Warden, they call it Mardi Gras. So St. Louis has Mardi Gras, right? So it falls on the same day, but they actually shut down the town and the streets of Warden. And there is so many people. I think it's the second largest in Missouri. And so that's a really good day.
But your bar really isn't in downtown Warden, if you'd call it. It's its own place.
It's off the highway.
It's off the highway, and I'm like, where the hell are we? Because cornfields are next to you.
Yeah.
And across the street. There's nothing around you guys.
That exit is just for your bar.
Yeah, which can be a bad thing until it's a good thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So Lern and I get there, and we're supposed to meet a producer in the parking lot. Again, we're sworn to secrecy. We also don't know if this is a Bar Rescue episode with John Taffer, who's the guy, or now they have guest hosts. Now they have people guesting. So we get there, we meet with the producer. We're supposed to wear regular clothes, no station logos, nothing. And they said, this is a John Taffer episode. And I went, Oh, yes.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Yeah, so they take us behind the bar and they have tents set up where I guess the production crew is stuff. And at this point, so this is a Tuesday, they had put cameras in the bar when?
I think they started Saturday. They were doing some soft filming, and it wasn't until like Monday when they set up the production lighting. We didn't even know if we were still going to even be on the show.
Right, so that's the whole thing. They don't tell you whether they said they're going to try you out.
Yeah, and then while they were putting up production lighting, I think is probably when they stuck in all the covert cameras, if you will, and so yeah.
Because it's a real production. When we went in there,
so
they have
cool.
cameras that were in napkin holders.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Wild.
Yeah, they have like hidden cameras all over the place. But yet they also did have cameras you could see. But at that point, when we came in on the Tuesday, you still didn't know whether you were going to be on the show or not.
Yeah, I mean, they kept, just like with you guys, they kept everything so secretive. Yeah.
How long did it take for the cameras to become normalcy? Where you guys kind of forgot they were there?
There was just, even when we were filming, there was a ton of interviews, just while we were filming, because you never know what pieces and parts that they're going to use and edit in and things of that nature.
Well, that's why they put the cameras in there on Saturday and they shoot our part on Tuesday, because by that time your guard is down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they don't. You're not sure when the recon team is going to come in.
Mm-hmm.
So we met with John Taffer before we came into the bar.
Yeah.
He was on site. He met with us behind in one of those tents, secretively. And he said to us, he goes, "Hey, this is a true reality show. Like, there's no script here or anything.
Yeah.
Like, when you go in and you describe what you're experiencing, this is what's going to be on the show.
Yes.
So we want you guys to be as descriptive as possible. Tell us what you're feeling. Tell us what you're tasting. Tell us what you're smelling.
Right.
Because this is going to be the show. We're not going to tell you what to say. You're not reading off a script. This is true reality TV." Right, Lauren? He couldn't have been nicer.
Oh, he was so sweet. I mean, he really, for being a guy who screams at people and makes somebody like Mel cry, I mean, he couldn't have been nicer to us. Like, he was so happy we were here. I think he had listened to the show, he's familiar with the Riz show, and it was really neat to meet him.
So we sat around for a little while, and then we were going to be let in. So they would let groups of people in the bar, kind of in waves.
Yeah.
So we're going to stick you in line with a group of people that are going into the bar. So that's how we got in.
Oh, darn.
And they told us, here's where you're going to sit.
Yeah.
They drew a map. They had a map of the bar.
Right. Because of how the cameras were stationed.
They wanted us in the prime camera spot. So they had a map of the bar. And they said, right now, 2 people are sitting in the seats that you're going to be sitting in. They're going to get up and you're going to take the seats.
Yeah.
Red team is entering. Blue team go. Blue team
For
go.
real.
For real. And they had a drawing of the bar and the 2 seats we were going to sit in.
Nice.
And they said, this is exactly where we're going to sit, and this is exactly what you're going to order,
Yeah.
when you're going to order it, and this is what you're going to say when you order it.
It was like a police sting. The
eagle has landed.
It was so cool to be like, and it all worked out perfectly.
Now, when I say it's not scripted, yes, they told us what to order.
These were the problematic things on the menu.
They told us what to order, but they didn't tell us how to describe what we were ordering. So I had to order a birthday cake friggin' martini.
That you normally do.
Which I would, Scott, let's not get that started again.
And honestly,
Happy birthday.
we'll
Riz.
talk after the show or after this interview with you, Nick. But there needs to be that back on the menu, and it has to be the Happy Birthday Riz Martini.
Oh, yes.
That would be amazing.
That would be
I give my permission.
pretty fantastic. But it has to be the exact it was on the show.
I give my permission.
Yeah, and it might be finger looking good too.
Yeah, you never know. No, that was my drink, Nick.
Oh, so I guess you had a huge menu of drinks.
Yeah.
Like the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, so, when I took this over from my father, going on almost 3 years ago, I had to increase bar sales, right? So, like, man, what could I do to increase sales? So I created a drink menu. It took me over 60 hours to develop. I went on the internet, not being in the bar industry, right? Yeah. And I was looking at just shots because, we've all been out with buddies or friends and we're like, hey, what shot do you want to do? I don't know. What shot do you want to do? I don't know. Bartender, what shot should we have? Here, just do this shot.
Right.
So I found about 40, 50 different shots, and we kept adding on to it, and the martinis and stuff. We kind of want to make it a little bit more upscale. And now with our new atmosphere, beautiful atmosphere in there, you know, it's a little bit higher class now.
Well,
you know,
I mean,
so
the Cheesecake Factory is the best description for how that menu did look.
Lord.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess what the Bar Rescue people did, where they're like, let's pick the most complicated drink, the two most complicated drinks possible, and let's see how your bartenders will handle making these drinks. So that's my birthday cake martini and your pineapple upside down martini.
Yes. Which did not taste like it had enough alcohol in it. That was my one thing. It was pure juice.
Yeah.
So we roll. So Lern and I sneak into the bar. We're mic'd up, so we have hidden microphones on us, and we sit in the corner.
And we're excited.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Well, anybody wearing a wire is pretty bad.
and
I'm wearing a wire.
And when you guys came in, I had no idea that I was with celebrities. Here.
Oh, well.
You know, #1
So you
radio
didn't
station.
know. We were wondering.
We were wondering if you
7.
knew that we were the recon people.
No, I didn't. I had no clue.
Interesting.
Well, that's an ego shot, by the way.
I know. Damn it. Don't you see our cartoon
Keep it
billboard?
up.
No, you know,
That's an
Not
ego
even
shot.
wearing a
I've listened to the
disguise.
radio station before,
Yeah,
but I've
yeah.
never seen.
No, of course. And what
seen
would we
you
be
guys.
doing out in Warden, Illinois?
Right.
Yeah, and you know, I thought you guys were together. And
Did we look like a couple? Did you think
did.
like we
You
were on
guys-
it? Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
That's the vibe we were going for.
we sit
Totally
we sit at the corner of the bar, and there's some local people in there on the other side of us.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it was a pretty decent crowd. There was about 10 people in there for a Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
And then us. So we order our drinks, and I will have to say, the drink that I had was horrendous. It was horrible. It had sprinkles on the rim. Come on,
know.
man. I know
You're
the
no
way you
fun.
feel about sprinkles.
Yeah, sprinkles
What do you
are
mean I'm no
trash.
fun?
I mean, to me, it looked like if that would have been mine, I don't know if I would have been able to complain. You know?
Edible plastic.
It was
It's
horrible.
absurd. It's insulting.
I could say that now because we have the bar rescue thing.
We got the you're bonded now.
So you had no idea that we were in there as recon.
I had no clue.
No idea.
Yeah, well done. You guys did a good job. Yeah. Yeah.
Good
But
job not
I'm a
being
very
recognized.
personal person,
Nice.
so of course I go up to everybody and say hi, introduce myself.
And you did. So Nick's in there. I do remember, Nick walking up. We had a whole backstory too, like why we were there. I think we were antiquing
We were antiquing that day. Just randomly
on a
in the
Tuesday
night.
on a Tuesday night.
Warden's a hot spot, man.
Yeah.
We were antiquing, and then I think you walked over and you were talking to Lern only. I thought you were hitting on her, and I kind of got like
I didn't
was like,
think that, Nick.
Jealous.
That's
You got possessive and jealous.
Yeah, you're acting like the angry, jealous boyfriend.
I'll intimidate him with a
Very
birthday
cool.
drink.
Yeah, you probably thought I was her gay friend who went antique. I get it.
Which is fine too. That's actually a more plausible story.
I get it. Yeah, you.
That's what you're actually mad about?
Yeah.
Was you thought he didn't think you could pull her?
Sprinkly
Like,
martini.
nah, something's going on. I'm hitting on this chick because she's clearly not with this guy.
Right.
how does-
This guy with the hair.
How does he even? We're not together, but how does he know we're not together?
Yeah, I had no.
But you were just being personable, by the way, and I know that.
Work in
and
the room.
I said that the other day, and I know you got in trouble for it, or your girlfriend gave you a razzle for it, but
It was all good. She knows I'm very personal.
right, and you were very personable when you came over.
Yeah.
I was just a little like, just talking to her.
Yeah.
I get it.
I love all of our customers. I consider everybody family when they come up to Vitali's Hideaway. So I go around and talk to everybody that comes
nice.
in.
So again, at this point, you still didn't know you were going to be on the show.
No, on one, yeah.
On that Tuesday, you still didn't know that you were going to be on the show.
No, not until the man himself walked in.
Oh yeah. Well,
Got really quiet, really quick.
of course it did. So we order our first drinks. We try to chug those down. I couldn't get through mine. I think I even said on the show I instantly got 5 cavities from whatever this mess was.
Right.
And then they told us to order food. So we ordered. I ordered the burger, the steak salad. We got lobster rangoon, and you
then
got
I got
a
the
chicken
chicken
sandwich,
sandwich.
which wasn't shown on TV.
Right.
The chicken sandwich, and it took forever for our food to come out. Now, the whole thing with Bar Rescue is, and I'm as a huge fan of the show, there's always something wrong with the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always. So I'm hoping there was not much wrong with your kitchen, and I'm hoping that before I start consuming the food, that John Taffer runs in because I know it's going to happen eventually.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Lern and I are the only people in that building that know that
like
John
bracing.
Taffer is going to run in here eventually and shut it down.
You guys were the only ones that knew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I just figured there was a couple other scouts maybe that they're getting in case you guys
No.
were full of crappy lines or something.
No.
Green team.
I figured there was a backup.
Yeah. No, in about like 2.5 years ago, all they served was frozen pizza. So
Oh,
I put
really?
in a brand new kitchen. So Bar Rescue, we were thinking we were going to get a couple kitchen items and stuff.
Yeah.
Nope, we didn't get anything out of that part because it was all brand new that we had in there.
They're like,
All
this
right.
is great
And
enough.
we got a good pest control, program, and so they're not going to find bugs or mold.
Right. Well, I didn't know that. I all I saw of the bar was what when we
Yeah.
walked in.
Yeah.
They had an AM radio show ready to go if they got screwed up.
I know.
Yeah. Next team up.
That's right.
So we wait for our food to come out. We ordered a second drink. Those came out. So we did order 2 drinks. I ordered I forget what else I ordered.
I think we just kind of riffed and we just got what we wanted. Like, I think it was like I think I got
They told me to
a,
order a highball.
oh, I feel like I had a
It's a
vodka
mixed
tonic.
drink.
I know it's got a cool glass.
See?
No, what
Every guy's got a highball.
a highball is a mixed drink
Not me.
of some kind.
It is. I think it's
He's got low balls.
one's higher than the other.
So
So
our food.
highball's like scotch, right?
I think
highball's
it's
the glass.
It's a mixed drink, so it's a 2-ingredient drink. The test was to see if your bartenders would know what a highball is,
Right.
which I don't remember if they did or not.
No.
Apparently, no one can remember.
So we waited. We were in there a while. We were in there
Scotch
total 1 hour from the time we ordered our drink to the time we left.
The Rangoons were fine.
The Rangoons were fine. Then my salad came out, and your chicken sandwich came out, and then my burger came out.
Right.
And I started eating my salad. The steak was not great.
Yeah, and looking on the video, it's like when they were filming, it's like, why do these guys do this? So I'm like thinking, okay, we have never cut our steak up and put it on a griddle before it goes on the salad. No, we've always cooked it up whole and then sliced it up. So I was
Yeah, so
confused on that. And same way with the burger.
Yeah, they squeezed all the juice out of the
Yeah.
burger. They cut the steak up, then put it on the flat top, so it was like eating a hockey puck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and we don't do that. And then Ian, who's still with us today, that you see pressing down the burger, he never does that. So I'm like,
He
Maybe
did
was
for my
trying to be
burger.
fancy.
okay, just like they told you what to eat. I'm kind of wondering, and I don't think so. I don't
don't
that
know, man,
They
but-
would tell our cooks,
but
what
it
to
was-
do, but they haven't told me that they told them to do that. But
So So I started eating the
that
salad.
would be horrible.
I started eating the salad. I'm like, oh God, this meat is
Tough.
tough.
Yeah.
It's like chewing on vulcanized rubber.
Oh, and I was embarrassed. When we seen the episode, that was even on there.
Yeah.
Because that is one of our most popular items.
Right.
Steak salad.
Is it still on
and
the
our
menu?
burgers. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So, and then Lern cut her sandwich in half.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember the condition of the inside of the sandwich.
Didn't look good. And that is when
And that before, I'm telling you, before Lern had the
I was getting ready to take a bite.
ready to take a bite and ready to chomp down, and all of a sudden, like the oxygen is sucked out of the room, and John Taffer is standing behind us.
He barrels out of the back room.
Like you hear an audible. He comes in through the front door.
ZZ Top's LaGrange just started playing out of nowhere.
It was quiet.
And he's standing behind me, and he yelled to you, "Don't eat that."
Don't eat that. And then he starts screaming at Nick.
Now, what is your reaction when John Taffer walks in?
I was like, oh my gosh, everything just got real, and seeing the brand himself walk in, John Taffer, was unbelievable. I mean, I had to pinch myself for a minute just to, and then he started yelling and throwing stuff around
Right.
the side and everything.
So from the excitement to like the 2 seconds of excitement to the oh no, I'm about to get dressed down, because you've seen the show and you know what's going to happen.
Yes.
You know what you're in for.
Yeah, I mean, if he's yelling at you, it's for a good reason.
Did you have
we
a
deserve it.
small millisecond where you were like, maybe he'll tell me I'm doing a good job?
There was always hope, and then
Maybe there's only a
Then
thing
just
or
like-
two to correct here.
just like on the show, you get over the hump, and then it's a lot easier
Yeah.
going and the training and stuff.
I felt terrible for Mel because I watched the episode
Mel's
twice now.
was the bartender.
Mel's
the manager.
amazing.
Oh, the manager.
She has so much passion to this
She
bar.
does, and you can tell. And when she's getting screamed at, I mean, she had the appropriate reaction of a person who is that passionate about something they love, and they're getting told they're doing it not that
Was
great.
she the one that was making our drinks?
No, she was not the one making our drinks, but I believe she brought out our food.
Okay.
But yeah, and you could see there's a part after Taffer screams at both of you where she goes back into the kitchen, and I mean, she just completely lets go and gets very emotional, and I felt terrible for her.
Yeah.
Well,
when we first started this, I went to my team and I'm like, hey, do you guys want to be on Bar Rescue? And none of them wanted to be on it.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh no!
So I was like, uh-oh. Here we've already kind of somewhat committed. I
Confirmed,
signed this
yeah.
big, long, scary contract
Yes.
with Bar Rescue, and you guys don't want to be on the show. No, we don't want to. We don't want to get yelled at on national television, right? So they're like, Nick, if it was anybody other than you, we would either quit or just said, no, we're not doing it, and you can do it yourself. But luckily, our team stepped up.
And you
nice.
could tell watching the episode, you guys all love each other and
Yeah.
want to see
we got a great
success.
team. We got a great team.
As an outside person watching, I was going to comment on that. Like, a lot of times people turn on each other in these episodes. And you guys didn't do that. It seemed like you took it on the chin, I thought, with integrity. And then I thought that you guys were, like, supportive of one another, not, like, trying to blame each other and just trying to make the place better. And not every episode's like that. Some episodes, they turn on each other.
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
quick.
People get fired. There's, the infighting, So Taffer comes in, he takes my salad, he throws it across the bar. And honestly, Nick, I'm trying not to laugh at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
it is it's like a church laughter, nervous.
Me too.
You're getting dressed down.
And you're giddy because you know what's happening.
I know.
You're like, this is going to
He
be
was
great.
loving it, by the way.
One of my defense
Let's just be honest with the guy who is in studio. This is what he lives for. He was loving that John Taffer was throwing everything around your restaurant, yelling.
Yeah, I think one of my defense mechanisms, if somebody's coming at you that hard, I start laughing.
Same. Yeah.
And I had to really bite my tongue and not laugh because I'm like, okay, this is John Taffer. You better not be laughing.
He's going to kill you if you start laughing.
because it's not going to go well.
Yeah.
So
start laughing.
he makes me take a bite of my burger. He throws my salad. He says you guys are trying to kill Lern.
Yeah.
We're all the cameras are out now at this point. Cameras pointing at you, cameras pointing at the staff, cameras pointing at us. It's chaos.
Right.
It's chaos in there. You're getting dressed down. People are crying. The locals are like, oh my God, this is happening.
Shocked.
I'm trying not to laugh. And then he leaves. He says, I'll be back tomorrow. And he walks out.
Got a lot of work to do.
The salad is everywhere. It's across the entire bar.
Yeah.
Nick is in shock.
It's
Check, please.
so quiet.
And I turn to Lern. I go, what do we do?
Yeah, what do we do now? We didn't have an exit strategy
No.
here.
John didn't go, come with us.
Right.
No, he
Well, yeah, because
left us.
Because y'all are still playing along.
We're still playing along.
Right. We're just normal people.
We're still playing along. So we had no idea what to do. So I text the producer. I go, what do we do? And he goes, pay your tab and get out of there. So they had given me cash. So I threw cash down. I go, I see you guys. Bye.
Right. We just left.
I guess I'm done with this salad.
And then we left, and that was it. Like we didn't know what happened after that.
Yeah, and it was a neat experience, very emotional, and so after John Taffer left, we started.
Oh, somebody's phone is ringing. It's John Taffer calling.
Yep, here he comes. Turn around.
So yeah, after Taffer left, we were just in awe and still trying to regroup from being yelled at and things of that nature. And then the stress test came up, the next day. So
the next day, what they do is they pack. And this is part of the episode. They pack the bar out to see where the weak points of the bar are, and they crowd the place out. They serve the drinks and they see where the bar needs fixing. So that's the stress test, and then they shut it down. And they rebuild you guys. And then by Friday, so we shot on the Tuesday. By Friday, your new place was up and ready to go.
Yeah, that was.
Wow.
Yeah, and they blindfolded us, anytime we would drive by or things of that nature, because we did some recordings off-site while all these contractors, 40, 50 contractors in the building at one time, just remodeling it in 36 hours and creating this beautiful atmosphere, speakeasy type, monster theme atmosphere. And
Did they repair the roof?
no, that was so we had gotten some large hail. Like
There was a hailstorm about
That's
a week or
right.
two before we got there.
Forgot
and
about
there was
that.
a hole in the roof and a tarp over the roof.
Yes.
And I went, when we pulled up, I go, oh my God,
Oh,
this place has
Lord.
a hole in the freaking
All
roof.
right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You know, and it doesn't look like much from the outside, but you walk in, it's like, holy cow.
Yeah, it
You know,
looks
after-
totally different now. It looks
Yes.
beautiful at the end of the episode.
Yes.
So they rebranded you guys, are now Vitali's Hideaway, which sticking with what theme? The Route 66 bootlegger.
Yeah, so John Taffer named it after the prohibitionist mobster John Vitale, and he came to me and said, "Nick, we want to make this into a destination bar for the whole world." And I'm like, "John, that's a big statement. How are you going to pull that off?" And he goes, "Well, think about it. You're on Route 66. There's people from all over the world that start at one end of Route 66 and travel to the other, and we're right smack dab in the middle, right?" So 3 weeks after we were done filming, the mob family actually reached out to us, said, "We want to come up on a Saturday, break some bread,
Oh, wow.
Oh my
and
God.
have lunch with you guys." So,
Break some knees.
Yeah. You can't steal our name. That's cool.
And so it was really neat. You know, we had lunch with them, of course. Love those guys. They're huge supporters now. We hang out with them quite a bit. They even came to my
You're in the
son's
mob now.
graduation.
Any relation
Good
to
job, Nick.
Friend of ours.
any relation to Joe Vitale, you know, the blues broadcaster?
I don't think so. The way they described the family tree is that it was short and narrow. Now it's like huge. There's
Right.
a ton of Vitales out there, and I don't think they're affiliated or active in that anymore.
No.
And of course, they probably wouldn't tell me if
Right,
they
of
were,
course
but
not.
no, it was a lot of fun, and yeah.
So after the episode, you know, ran and again, it's been in the can for a year.
Yes.
And you guys have been Vitali's Hideaway for a year now. How's business been?
Yeah, so we weren't able to, after filming, we weren't able to take pictures of the inside, us as employees, take pictures on the inside, and because they didn't want to, Bar Rescue didn't want to spoil the atmosphere that they created. So we were like, oh, it's going to be 4 to 6 months to edit, and then they didn't want to compete with the NFL ratings, and so we were thinking we were going to go on the air in February, March, and it turned out a year later, and here we are, season finale. So now we're like taking pictures and
Right.
posting them now that we can, that,
Right.
that the show aired.
But people locally that would come by, I mean, they obviously could see that it was different. So you just had to say, like,
Yeah, I put it out there. I said to all my friends and family, do not show
Don't
me
post
any
any pictures.
pictures or anything. I want to be completely surprised on the reveal. And it's a very emotional
That's cool.
experience, very, very cool experience.
Well, congratulations, man. It's a big deal, and you guys looked great on the show, and
Did you
yeah.
have to keep it secret over the year to customers that would come in and go, clearly something has changed here, and the rumor is
Yeah, no, we were allowed to talk about it.
Oh,
and
you were?
Customers
Okay.
took pictures and posted it and stuff. And, you know, we continue to grow and develop there. So now every third Saturday of every month, we turn it into a comedy club. So our person that's in charge of bookings, Brian Mason, who Rafe might know, because one of the things I'm hoping is to get Rafe up there and do a comedy
let's
show.
go.
yeah.
oh,
You're
man.
trying to strong arm me now that you're in the mob.
Let's go.
So, you know,
Me a shoebox full of cash.
Brian Mason, who's in charge of our booking, you know, our past headliners were like Will O'Donnell and Jack Wright, and upcoming shows, which not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday. It's $10 a ticket, and we're raising money for the honor flight. So
that's
Nice. That's July 19th.
yeah, the proceeds go to pay for our veterans to fly up to the memorial.
That's lovely.
And so yeah, and we 3 out of our 4 comedians are veterans themselves. So it's going to be a beautiful show.
Rafe's a veteran.
True. True story.
Yeah,
I know Will very well. I know all those guys. Great guys.
Yeah, and then upcoming we got JC Sabla and Willie Lynch, and so we're getting all the same top
Kabbalah.
comedians in St. Louis from all on circuit up there. So now people in that geographic area, maybe 20 miles, they don't have to travel all the way to St. Louis. They can just travel
Right.
to Tolly's now, and it's just something neat. Need date night, need buddy night, So we're excited about that. Each one of our shows,
They
we've
don't have to
only
wear a
done-
tux like the old days, like
you know.
Frank and Sammy up there.
Yeah, when we had our watch party a couple weeks ago, the Vitalis, of course, showed up, and Nick Vitale was wearing a beautiful tux, and
Nice.
That's so good.
fancy shoes. Yeah, you have to check it out on our Facebook. But yeah,
Well, so give all the information out. So it's Vitali's Hideaway in Warden, Illinois. 7708 State Route 4. What's the Facebook and stuff like that?
Yeah, so if you go to our Facebook, Vitaly's Hideaway, and hit like or following, and join our family. You know,
When you
come
hear
up,
your
check out
family.
the atmosphere. Yeah. You know. Now we have Vitaly brand name.
Yeah.
We're, everybody's family. And that's the way. Even when we were Slotzies, I treated everybody like family. This is our customer's place.
Well, Nick's a good guy. He's very personable. He'll come talk to you. He'll talk to you about antiquing and stuff like that, like he talked to us about.
Yeah.
I really want that Happy Birthday Riz birthday martini to happen.
I think if you guys came back up and tried to see where things were at and where they're at today,
Don't get this
Bar
man in
Rescue-
trouble making him add a bunch of drinks
No.
back on the menu. That's what he got yelled at for.
And if you could just put a side of Fireball, just a shot of Fireball next to it, and that could be a whole package, that'd be great.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
I want to be involved.
Being out in a rural area, it's tough to find cooks, and so we're always looking for cooks and to develop a good team and a kitchen manager, and so we're trying to grow. So if there's people that are out there looking for a job, come up and visit with us.
Oh, nice.
Show you, be a part of the family and help us grow. We help you grow.
Cool.
Well, kitchen's open till 2 a.m.
Yeah, so our kitchen is unlike any other
at that.
around in the rural area. Our kitchen's open till 2 in the morning every day.
Nice.
Monday through Sunday. So, got to have something for the people that might be a little tipsy.
Yeah, or
Get some
on their
food
way home
down
from
or on-
wherever. And
Yeah, we do have a lot of people on second and third shift, or they'll be getting off of work and they'll come in at 1:30 at night and in the morning and get food and take home and to go. So yeah.
Well, congratulations. That's Nick Lang, owner of Vitaly's Hideaway in Warden, Illinois. I'm glad we could all here be a little part of the part of the process.
So much
Love you
fun.
guys. Thank you so much for having us in today.
Well, and we're there's a little part of us that felt guilty when we left. Like, oh man, these guys got smoked by John Taffer. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? I see at the end of every episode, they do the rebuild and the rebranding, so everything's going to be okay. But
Yeah, it was a great ending. I was pleased with how everything finished up and where we're at today. We're still
That's great.
doing different projects up there. Trying to get a new patio put in and
awesome
things of that nature outside.
Well, congratulations, and I want everybody to, if they're in the area, go visit Vitaly's Hideaway.
For sure.
Out in Warden, Illinois. Of course, we'll put all the info up on our socials.
Yeah,
Nick,
love to have you guys.
great seeing you again. We're going to
so
come up
much.
there.
Yeah,
We're coming up there.
Thank you. Let me know ahead of time.
I will let you know. I got your card.
We'll be in
I got all your
disguises.
info.
Yep.
I'll be coming in before them with a mustache.
Yeah, our recon. Question that I'm seeing on the Schreier text line and our instant feedback with Nick from Vitaly's Hideaway here. How much does he have to pay Bar Rescue and John Taffer for what they've done? Nick says nothing.
Yeah.
Like the bar keeps everything. They don't have to kick anything to anybody.
Yeah, no strings attached. They don't own a part of the business or any of that stuff.
Right.
Great. Dang.
Yeah. Hey, do you remember? I think it was last week or the week before. Talked about the band, the Velvet Sundown,
Yes, the AI band.
the AI band.
Allegedly.
So, the band, the Velvet Sundown, has only existed for 2 weeks, but has already released 2 albums, and they have 1 million Spotify followers.
Hardworking guys.
And there was, are they is it an AI band? Is it not an AI band? What's going on here? Here's one of the, I think this is the most streamed of their songs. It's called Dust on the Wind.
Raise your hand, don't look away. Sing out loud, make them pay. March for peace, not for pride. Let that flag turn with the tide.
I think the song's all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think it's fine. So the band's Spotify bio first tried to pass them off as an authentic act, sharing info on the band members and saying, you don't just listen to them, you drift into them.
Okay.
The second verse starts with, let the robots come in your home.
Their music doesn't shout for your attention. It seeps in slowly like a scent that suddenly takes you back somewhere you didn't expect. That's in their band bio. So somebody even called Rolling Stone magazine, claiming to be the band's rep, and and X accounts allegedly belonging to the Velvet Sundowns members started popping up.
Suddenly.
But their band pics were obviously AI generated. And programs detecting AI find that the band's tracks are not authentic. And now it is official. Whoever is behind this thing, they've admitted, yes, it is an AI. It is an AI band.
Okay.
It is 100% AI. The music, the image, everything. It is whoever is behind this changed the Spotify bio to read, "The Velvet Sundown is a synthetic music project guided by human creative direction and composed, voiced, and visualized with the support of artificial intelligence. This isn't a trick, it's a mirror. An ongoing artistic provocation designed to challenge the boundaries of authorship, identity, and the future of music itself in the age of AI." That's what this is.
Interesting.
So that's what it's been retconned to be.
All right. That's
Now
the
that
spin.
they're making money on it, that's the spin.
That's the spin.
It might have to be, I mean, it might be something that they had to do.
Legally?
You have to agree to having some sort of disclaimer to say that it's AI. I remember there was a whole debate
Spotify
there.
does. I looked this up. Spotify does not require disclosure.
Really?
I think that's being talked about right now, though, because they've never had to require disclosure. This is a new frontier. And a new frontier where you guys talk about how you don't like AI and all that. But
I'm about to
you
put
guys
AI
are-
comedian
you guys
in my
are asking-
bio, see what happens.
You've been asking for it.
1 million followers sounds pretty cool.
Spotify allows AI-generated music and does not require disclosure that the tech has been used.
I don't like it. I want to know when something's fake.
But here's the thing, and this is the interesting question here. So critics of this point out, so in order to create this music, so in order for AI to learn, it's got to take from actual musicians.
Right.
And it's got to be prompted, right? Just like anything else?
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to write in what you want the AI to do, but the AI learns from actual musicians.
Right.
So where's their cut in it? So let's say, it learned from, and probably had maybe a little tiny piece of Greek fire. It learned. Where's your cut?
Or do you deserve a cut?
No, he's a musician. They don't deserve money.
Scott, in all seriousness, like where's, do you play into this? Like as a musician that has
I'm
music
well
out
aware.
there.
Yeah.
And I've had my stuff ripped off, and it's gone down like.
But this is not in a but that is in almost a blatant way. This is a new technology.
This is just as blatant as anybody in a studio saying, "Okay, let's listen to this record, let's copy this, let's change it just enough," and which is how the majority of songwriters work. They say,
but
"What is?"
But it's a new frontier of it. So meaning that
It's a new facet to the.
It's a computer learning.
Right. It's a new
off
facet
off your stuff.
But this is an ongoing thing for the last 80 years. And in court, there are precedents that are set where X amount of percentage of this hook or this progression or the way that this sounds is then put to a jury or to a judge and is established. There are precedents set. And I think that those precedents are just going to be taken over to the AI arguments as well.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah, it has to.
Sarah Silverman sued ChatGPT. It was a class action with some other artists, and it got dismissed. So the precedent has been set because they were saying they used their copyrighted works to train the model. Whether they were stealing from them or not, it's like you're taking our work to train your AI to do our job. So that is infringement in and of itself, and
But
that
also-
got dismissed, so I don't know.
Also, though, if you're so somebody brings up a good point, like Metallica was inspired by Black Sabbath.
That's what I mean. They're all going to say inspired by, and if there's a precedent where it has to be more than 2% of this and that kind of stuff to have an actual argument here, then this is going to apply to it. And I hate to say it, guys, but it goes back to our conversation from earlier. You guys say that the audience is always right. If you go to a show,
You're putting words in our mouth a little bit, but yeah.
But I'm just saying, but you know what I'm saying? Like the argument that I was trying to make against your argument of the audience needs to be pleased with every artist that's up there, we're not going to have any artists anymore because the audience doesn't actually want it. This is what they want. They got 1 million followers. People work their entire lives.
You don't think that's novelty, though?
It could be curiosity. It could be 90% of that is
It's
curiosity.
a bit of both, but what did most of us say in here? when we listened to it the first
not
time,
bad.
like, hey, it's not bad. It's
not-
pretty
it's
good.
not bad.
I can see this being a playlist. And music is not a commodity anymore where it's in front, where it's the product.
Sure.
It's not the product at all. It's background music. It's advertisement layers. It's
Sure, but isn't
it's a
pop
different-
music exactly that? I mean, it's popular music. It's made to be popular. It's made to be.
yeah.
So we've been making this type of music for mass consumption for a long time, right?
Yeah, pop music.
There's
Yeah.
a formula to what's hot right now, and
Right.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. And now it's even easier
well, it's
to
interesting.
please the audience.
We're at a new. This is a new thing.
It's a new frontier.
It's a new frontier, guys. And I, for one, you know my, you know my
Captain
stance.
Scott D. Rizzuto of the Starship AI
Yeah.
Prize.
All right, today is
Would
today
love
is
to be a partner with you, AI.
Today is July the 9th. Back in the day, 67 years ago, 1958, a Catholic magazine called Contacts launched a campaign for clean lyrics and pop music. So think about what it is in 2025 and what it was back in 1958. So this Catholic magazine launched a campaign for clean lyrics and pop music. One of the songs they wanted changed was Elvis's Wear My Ring Around Your Neck because it promoted what?
Strangling your wife?
No.
Yes. Oh.
What?
Nope. Hey,
What?
took me for a loop there. It promoted Going Steady.
I'm sorry. Did you say wear my ring around your neck?
Yeah.
I've never heard of such thing.
It's
That's
what
an
they
Elvis
did-
song?
Class ring.
That's what they did in high school.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like you would give
Oh.
your class ring
What
to,
did
to
you
your
think?
gal.
I don't know, man. I was imagining like a ring strangling
I
somebody.
mean, I can imagine Elvis' song "Put My Fist into Your Face." It's a little more.
I want you to wear my backhand across your cheek. Get back in the kitchen and make me a sandwich.
Or make me a steak. Come on.
Ah.
Elvis, that sounds.
Nobody's wearing rings on necklaces anymore. I haven't seen one of those in 20 years.
But I'm talking in 1958.
All right, I'm just saying what I interpreted it as. God damn it.
Yeah, my mom used to talk about that.
was made to be barefoot and pregnant. What? Elvis? Good God, man.
43 years ago, 1982, Disney's Tron was released, starring Jeff Bridges as a hacker sucked into the game. 30 years ago, 1995, the Grateful Dead played their last show with Jerry Garcia, dies of a heart attack a month later. 28 years ago, 1997, Mike Tyson banned from boxing and fined $3 million for biting Evander Holyfield's ear. 26 years ago, American Pie comes out. And 21 years ago, in 2004, Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy was released.
I love Lamp.
And that was one of those movies where it took me the second watch to get it.
Me too. Me too. It was
Really?
too much Will Ferrell the first time around. I was like, I don't know how I felt about that. I laughed here and there, but like,
Oh.
it was a bit much to ingest. I had to take 2 or 3 watches.
I
to
watched
respect
it with the wrong people.
I watched it with the right
Maybe
people
I
the
did
first
too.
time, and I was rolling the whole damn movie.
I watched it with my brother and sister-in-law, my wife's brother and his wife, who were like, "This is dumb," and I go, "You killed this movie for me."
Same thing with Old School.
gosh.
Old School did not appeal to me
Old
at first.
School, I saw with somebody who is my like mind, and I was on the floor.
The part where I lost my mind was the introduction of Steve Carell and Anchorman.
Yes.
That whole blah, 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 that whole thing.
Yeah.
Or no, wait, when I'm thinking
No,
of something
that
else.
was
That's Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty.
What was the part in Anchorman where there was?
I love Lamp.
I love Lamp.
Was it I
The
Love Lamp?
Trident. We kill somebody. You killed somebody. with a
Doesn't he
tri-
go? He ends up with a gorilla at the end. He marries the gorilla. No, I might be
I don't remember.
thinking of something
No,
else.
he rode off.
No, I'm mixing them
He
up.
rode off.
When he kicks a dog off the bridge,
Jack Black.
that was that was
man.
so unexpected that
I mean,
Veronica
just-
Corningstone's character alone, like Christina Applegate, is so damn
What an
good.
inspiration, right?
I mean, for real,
What
and
an
her outfits in that whole movie are epic.
All right, that's what happened back in the day. All right, time to find out what's going on in the world of music and entertainment with your crap on celebrities.
And it's brought to you by Mentality. Their patients experience a 30% increase in testosterone levels. Reclaim your health at mentalityhealth.com/radio. Guys, the 40th anniversary of Live Aid is this weekend. And if you want to relive that moment in music history, well, the official YouTube channel is going to be celebrating it with 10 hours of footage. A 4-part documentary called Live Aid When Rock and Roll Took the World will also premiere on CNN Sunday night. But don't expect to see any Led Zeppelin in there. So the 3-song set which reunited Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, and John Paul Jones.
Yeah, what a disaster.
Was such a disaster that Led Zeppelin has refused to let any of the footage be included on the official releases. Of course, we have audio from it, and we will listen to it right now.
Which one do you want me to play? Okay.
Live Aid.
Live Aid. Okay, so the story is, so John Bonham actually, had passed. Phil Collins sat in for John Bonham for Led Zeppelin. Didn't know how to play the beginning of Rock and Roll, apparently.
This is so
the
great.
song.
Really?
It sounds...
I don't know
But
any
you
of
know
this
what?
story.
I think it sounds okay.
No. At the end of this, it's not Phil Collins' fault. It's Robert Plant's fault because his vocals are horrendous here.
I think it sounds. This was a big deal. This is, oh my God, Led Zeppelin's getting back together.
Right.
Phil Collins on drums.
Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce some friends of mine to you. Would you welcome Mr. Robert Plant, Mr. Jimmy Page, Mr. John Paul Jones. Good evening.
There we go.
I said good evening. There'll be a short intermission while I get some monitors.
Phil Collins on stage for what is now being called the Led Zeppelin reunion.
This is from the MTV feed.
This is the one that a lot of people have been waiting for. I'm not going to give away the whole set, but I will tell you this. That's rock and roll, and they're doing Stairway. Let's go to the stage.
Sounds fine to me.
Right. It's fine.
It's okay.
No, it's not.
Okay, I mean, listen, he's a bit pitchy.
Okay.
But
It's a hard range to control, and he just was having a day that wasn't in good control.
So
hey, is that the one where Phil Collins flew from New York and did all that kind of stuff?
Yes, he went from Philly to London.
So this is the second show.
Concorde.
Yeah, this is the second show in a day he's doing, and he's filling in for freaking Zep.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yo,
So
what a
Phil
feat.
Collins rules.
Yeah, Phil Collins
So
does
Led
rule.
Zeppelin would like that erased from history.
And it will not be shown.
That's hilarious.
But if
Cry
you want,
about it.
But the best performance ever, and they say maybe of all time at any show ever, was the Queen set.
Absolutely it was.
At Live Aid.
Yeah.
They say that was the most perfect.
It gives you goosebumps watching it
the
even
most
today.
perfect set of any musical act in rock history.
Right.
Isn't that one of the
Was
most
at Live Aid.
inspiring U2?
It was
U2 was good.
U2.
U2 was very young U2.
Yeah.
David Bowie, Elton John, Paul McCartney, The Who, Dire Straits, they were all in
Dire
London.
Straits was excellent. Dire Straits with Sting.
Yes.
bad
Philadelphia
lineup.
had Bob Dylan, Eric Clapton, Mick Jagger, Madonna, and Tom Petty whenever they were at JFK Stadium. So you could watch it this weekend. If you've never witnessed it or listened to it, it's definitely worth the watch.
Yeah,
the whole
it's cool.
thing.
And watch Queen's set because that is
It's one of the best.
tops.
Wasn't that that was like they built a whole Freddie Mercury movie around that, right?
The
Like
Live
an
Aid set,
ended
yeah.
at the Live Aid set.
Yeah. The Offspring have launched a new sneaker with Vans inspired by their album Smash. They're actually really cool. So if you're an Offspring fan with that album, it's pretty cool. Like at the top, it looks like you could see like the X-ray with the yellow and the black on top, and it says Offspring Smash on the toes.
Hey, speaking of, and back to the Ozzy, back to the beginning thing
Right.
from over the weekend, I've seen people online go, why didn't Aerosmith do this?
They might. Joe Perry's he was on a interview last week that I listened to where he was talking about Aerosmith probably has one more show left in the can. And it kind of confirmed it for me, seeing Steven Tyler come out there and do 3 songs. I think they'll do it in Boston. It'll be very similar to
Like
Back
the
to
Ozzy
the Beginning.
thing?
Yeah.
So Aerosmith's not touring anymore.
Right.
Obviously, legendary band, much like, Ozzy and Sabbath. They did this huge thing that worked out great.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Aerosmith, who's...
I hope they do. I will be buying tickets immediately.
And still people are waiting for Sharon Osbourne to announce who the band that was disinvited was.
I was thinking,
Everybody thinks it was Danzig.
Oh, really?
Well, because somebody said that that was the band that got kicked off back in the day. Got kicked off Ozfest because they demanded. There was a band that demanded like $10,000 more. And the story goes, I don't know if this is confirmed, but the story goes that a band that was on Ozfest, and this was the year that Danzig was on it, said to Sharon, you got to pay us $10,000 more or we're not taking the stage. And she said, fine. And like she argued with him and it was like, fine, I'll pay you $10,000 more. And then they went out and they got off and she said, I'm not paying you. Your agent signed a contract. You got,
wow.
you said you would do this. That's what we're doing. You're not getting paid $10,000 more. But then they kicked off Danzig.
Motley Crue also being
so the story goes like, so Sharon Osbourne disinvited a band because they demanded to get paid for this the back to the beginning thing. The three bands, I haven't heard the Danzig thing. The three bands that I'm hearing are Motley Crue, Kiss, and Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Those are the three acts.
I love Limp Bizkit, but they don't belong there anyway.
Well, Fred did a video for it. So maybe that was the middle ground.
And Sharon Osbourne says that she will, and she said it's shocking who it is.
Shocking.
Well, you know who I realized wasn't there was Dave Grohl. I feel like he would have
that's what's
fit right,
wild.
not to perform, but to be there. He was at Wimbledon with his wife.
So you think it might have been
amazing.
Foo?
I was thinking maybe it was the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
He was in London.
Yeah.
While this was going on. He didn't even go to the show?
Right.
Whoa.
I think it's weird.
That's a sign.
That's a sign. So, because I'm sorry, but Dave Grohl loves all those bands, loves all those people.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be Mr. He's supposed to be carrying the torch,
Right.
Mr. Rock and Roll.
And Probot, his metal band that he put out that one record with, where he had a ton of people on that.
Oh my gosh, I never even thought about that. He was in London though,
I haven't seen his
being
name.
filmed in public.
Yeah, he was with his wife, which is great.
I haven't seen his name pop up.
That's just my thought.
That's because you're always thinking.
I'm
about
always
Foo
thinking
Fighters.
about Dave. I am. I got to know what's up with him.
Constantly in the growl hole.
I am. Joe Jonas has shared on TikTok that a fan approached him on the street and said that she and her friends were talking about how tiny his nipples are. In a video, Joe looks down at his chest, says, I think they're quite average sized nipples, which according to a 2018 study by the Aesthetic Surgery Journal, the average nipple size for a man is 26.6 millimeters or, just a little bit over 1 inch.
When we're cold?
It's twice that size.
I guess so. So, and I looked at Joe Jonas's nipples extensively before we got on the show today, and he does. He just has normal nipples. I don't know what this woman was
Don't make
talking
fun
about.
of his nipples.
He's a
I can't
He's
believe
a
I'm
dream-
typing
He's a
this in.
dreamboat.
Joe Jonas nipples.
I'm typing it in.
go ahead. There's a new show premiering this week on A&E called Lie Detector: Truth or Deception,
Dude,
where a
this
former
story's
FBI
wild.
agent named George Olivo gives people polygraph tests. Now, in the first episode, he now puts Gary Coleman's ex-wife, her name is Shannon Price, in the hot seat and asks her some questions about the fall that Gary had that led to his death in 2010. Here's a little audio of that.
So you guys know the story of Gary Coleman, how he died, right? Gary Coleman from Different Strokes.
It was a fall, but it wasn't the fall. They said it was like 20 days later or something.
Right. There's always been speculation about the wife having something to do with it.
Okay.
Their relationship was always deemed as kind of shady. So I don't know if you murdered your husband or were implicit in the death of your husband, and everybody's like, you did it.
Right.
Why would you agree
To go on a show.
on a show where you get hooked up to a polygraph?
Well, maybe she's trying to clear her name.
That's what I think. But listen to this.
The exam had to do with Gary's fatal fall.
Okay.
I asked you the following relevant questions on this test. Did you physically cause Gary's fall? You answered no.
Right.
I also asked you, did you physically cause Gary to fall that day? And you answered no. And the results are, you failed that exam with deception regarding Gary's fall.
That's false.
Whoa, so
Interesting.
So she does not agree with the results. She says, quote, we are extremely disappointed with the overall experience, both the polygraph test and dealing with A&E. From the beginning,
why
it was
would you
apparent
agree to do this?
they cared more about ratings than finding the truth. So she is denying.
Why would you agree to be on a show where you're hooked up to a polygraph, which they say are not
Yeah,
Reliable.
100%?
reliable
they're not even
for a show that is looking for extreme things
Yeah.
to get ratings.
Where people are already questioning whether you killed your husband or not.
What a fool!
don't.
Trying to
What a
make you
strange
nervous.
person!
Yeah,
What a
but-
strange decision.
Narcissists be narcissists.
I guess so.
Maybe
They
that's
be
it.
thinking they can beat the polygraph, and like they already people like that are.
How much did they pay her?
She probably thought she could just. She's like, I already got away with. I'm not saying she did it or not.
Got away
but
with
like,
what?
She already got away with it. So like, I'll go. I can beat the polygraph. Like people the main character syndrome is real.
The call to fame. It's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Why you would agree?
Weird looking couple, by the way.
Right, and that was the whole thing. They were
Show
like,
them to
I
me.
hate to say that.
Show me the nipples of Joe Jonas, and then show me this couple.
well, she's a big, tall lady.
I will confirm Joe Jonas' nipples extremely normal.
Extremely normal.
And
lovely, I'll even
Suckable.
So, Lern and I went down a Coleman hole.
say. We did.
Lern and I went down a Gary Coleman
Because
hole
I didn't know if
before the
Gary
show.
Coleman was a little person or not. I didn't, he's a little guy, or was a little guy.
No, he was not.
But he wasn't a little person.
I mean, he was short, yes, but it was he had kidney issues, right?
Yes,
and his medication stunted his growth.
Yes, he had kidney disease, and then because of the steroids and medications that he was on, I guess at an early age, it stunted his growth to only 4 feet 8 inches.
Yeah, it's just a weird look for a multitude of reasons, most of which I couldn't even pinpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
what's
going on here?
It doesn't look like somebody who's going to kill Gary Coleman. I mean, you know what I mean?
she looks like a
she
robot.
looks like fine. I don't know.
in some of these photos, her posture and everything, she kind of looks not real.
She looks very young. How
She's
much?
like a real doll.
What is the age difference between them? I
that
wonder?
was the whole thing. It's
Yeah.
like, why are you with him? Because they weren't married very long.
Oh.
Do you not see what I'm talking about? She's got like a real doll kind of thing going. And I'm
You
not,
think she looks kind of animatronic, or
Yeah, I hate to comment on somebody's
Looks like
looks.
the Megan doll grew up.
She also put out a book that is titled "If I Did It."
If I pushed him. Dang,
Like
look at that
OJ?
look at that cool outfit he's wearing.
Yeah.
Gary
nice.
Coleman
And she's
had
in a
style.
Puffer jacket and a Crocodile Dundee hat on. That's
and then
tight.
she's in a hoodie. Like this is an animatronic.
I mean, to be fair, this is what Tim and I look like on the weekends. I mean, I am Gary Coleman. I feel like
You are Gary Coleman's
I
height, yes.
am Gary Coleman, and Tim always has a hoodie on. So
I have that hat.
He's got his hand on his back like she's getting ready to push him in that film.
That's not what happened.
I hope everything is fine.
Well, she failed the polygraph.
I don't even know what that means
Again,
anymore.
the
And this
show-
is for a reality show?
Yeah, lie
Get out.
detector,
Get out of
truth or
my
deception,
Oh,
A&E.
I'm having a watch party.
Okay, make your hummus.
I'm going to make my polygraph hummus.
The cause of Michael Madsen's death has been revealed. The Kill Bill and Reservoir Dogs
Did
actor.
she push him too?
No, she is not involved.
Is there a lie detector
Damn it.
coming?
So he passed away in Malibu on July 3rd and was pronounced dead at the scene when everybody arrived to check on him. His cardiologist said that he died from heart failure with heart disease and alcoholism being named as the contributing factor. So that is really sad. He was 67 years old. So there you go.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
And finally, guys, the biggest news of 2025, actually probably 2026, because that's when it will come out. I am actually excited about this sequel. The Devil Wears Prada 2 is going to come out on May 1st of next year. And we already knew that Meryl is coming back, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci, because they were the core four that made that movie how great it is.
The Tooch.
But now we have even more greatness arriving. Lucy Liu, Justin Theroux, BJ Novak, and Timothy Chalamet's sister Pauline will be in the
Yes,
cast.
Timothy Chalamet.
I love that guy.
Sister. Pauline.
Pauline
I'm sure she's fine.
Chalamet.
The Tooch he's hot right now.
He's so hot right
He's
now.
I
everywhere.
like his, he's got like a
Cooking show?
Travel
where
show.
he goes to Italy and goes to the different
Yes.
regions. It's
Yeah,
good.
It's an eating show. And he's so hot right now, and he's like aging well, and he's about to have his like real. He's about to have his Pedro
he's-
Pascal.
I love him.
He's
moment.
very pretentious, but it's fine.
He
Like,
can be. That's his whole thing.
No, I know that's his shtick.
We need
Yeah.
those people.
And I'm okay with that.
And that's his character in this. Did you ever see The Devil Wears Prada?
I have seen it.
Awesome.
And I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Meryl Streep's character is the best. Well, they're already in production, set to open again May 1st of next year, all courtesy of Disney's 20th Century Studios. And that is your crap on celebrities.
A couple things. Superman, I know that's out now. Pretty good on the Rotten Tomatoes already. I think
Yeah.
86% I saw.
Yep.
My son went to go see it last night. Yet to get a review. And the new It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia tonight, if you guys want to watch that.
Awesome.
Not with me, though.
Celebrity celebrating a birthday today. Georgie Henley, that's Lucy Pevensey on Chronicles of Narnia, is 30. Mitchell Musso, that is Hannah's dorky best friend Oliver on Hannah Montana. He's 34. Fred Savage is 49. Jack White is 50. Courtney Love is 61. Jim Kerr, Simple Minds singer, is 66. Kevin Nash, pro wrestler turned actor, is 66. Kelly McGillis. I always feel so bad.
Top Gun.
Because of
not
what-
invited back for the sequel.
What Family Guy did to her is vicious but hysterical. Kelly McGillis is 68. Tom Hanks is 69.
So what you're saying is, look it up.
I'm saying look it up. They tend to shred people, but that one in particular,
That was brutal.
That felt personal. Jimmy Smits, your grandparents knew him from L.A. Law, NYPD Blue, The West Wing, Sons of Anarchy. Also Senator Organa on Obi-Wan Kenobi is 70. John Tesh is 73. And Dean Koontz, the horror writer, is 80 years old today.
Also, a big happy birthday to the girl Rizzuto, who turns 14 today.
Oh,
That's
my
right.
goodness.
1-4, huh?
Happy birthday, little one.
All right, today's porno birthday, which is being brought to you by Patricia's, where fun and fantasy meet, is Jennifer Stone. And today's birthday girl has been in 247 fine films, including Anal Cavity Search 1, Big Toys, No Boys 4, Fetish Lesbos 2, Home and Alone 2, Latex Lovers 2, The Porn Identity, and who could forget a role in 2008's The Lesbians of Sorority Row. Jennifer Stone is 44 years old. It's porno birthday, those are your crappy birthdays, and that was your crap on celebrities. All right, Moon has your sports after the break.
Yo, I was looking up the Kelly McGillis thing for, clip on Family Guy to show you guys, and the leading article on Reddit is, what's a Family Guy joke you feel bad for laughing at? And the top one is the Kelly McGillis one.
Dang.
So, yeah, look it up.
I'm going to look it up.
Okay.
I saw a nice article about the new Happy Gilmore with who's the lady from Modern Family? She's beautiful.
Julie Bowen.
Yeah, and she was like, she thought they would replace her based on like the Top Gun theory of like. And
Oh, no. There's
and the Sandman did her right, apparently.
Well,
She's also smoking hot still.
she's still smoking hot.
Yeah.
No offense, Kelly McGillis. And let's finish out with sports. All right, what do we got?
Sports is presented to you by DraftKings at Casino Queen. Play, stay, and dine. Visit DraftKings at CasinoQueen.com for special promotions. After a rain delay pushed back Tuesday's game by over 2 hours, the Cardinals bounced back from a 2-0 deficit with a 3-run third inning and a strong bullpen showing to beat the Nationals 4-2 at Busch Stadium. Brendan Donovan, the Cards' lone all-star, tied the game with a 2-run homer, and then Burleson's RBI double gave him the lead. Sonny Gray pitched 5 innings, using a sweeper effectively for 6 strikeouts, which was great. The bullpen trio of Matt, Matan, and Romero held Washington scoreless, and Ryan Helsley closed it out for his 18th save. Newt Barr added insurance with a solo home run. Cardinals improved to 49-43. Speaking of baseball, New York Mets outfielder Juan Soto is vowing to come back stronger after being snubbed from the All-Star game. So this guy's not an All-Star, but remember, he just signed a 15-year contract worth $765 million freaking dollars.
Wow.
So his bank account...
The Mets are doing good. The Mets are doing well, though. So
yeah, his bank account is an All-Star. Hey, Missouri's Eli Drinkwitz and Illinois' Brett Bielema, I think that's how you say his name, they've been named to the preseason watch list for the Dodd Trophy that's awarded annually to college football's top head coach. This is Drinkwitz's second consecutive year on the list after finishing as a finalist in 2023. Pretty amazing. Mizzou's back-to-back 10-win seasons have elevated him and his profile, while the Illinois feller, he returns a strong core to Illinois, including QB Luke Altmaier that everybody's talking about. This is a for the a potential college football playoff berth.
You see what happened to the old Mizzou coach, Gary Pinkel, picked up for DUI again.
Honk, honk.
No, I only get the good news on Mizzou's.
Gary Pinkel,
blast.
former Mizzou coach, arrested for driving while intoxicated. His second time. Yikes.
Come on, man.
Yikes.
Oh, man.
Hey, the Blues signed forward Matt Luff, defenseman Hunter Skinner, and goalie Vadim Zarenko to 1-year, 2-way contracts worth $775,000 in the NHL. All three are expected to start the season with AHL affiliate Springfield, where Luff was a standout, 45 points in 50 games. Skinner and Zarenko, both 24, could become unrestricted free agents next summer if they don't reach NHL game minimums. And Kevin Durant has officially landed as a Houston Rocket as part of the NBA's first ever 7-team mega trade, the most complex in league history. As part of the blockbuster deal, Houston also acquired Clint Capella while sending Green, Brooks, and future number 10 pick several other rookies and draft picks to the Phoenix Suns. Other teams that involved in this whole thing were Atlanta, Brooklyn, Golden State, Minnesota, and the Lakers. who all received various players and multiple second-round picks to complete the historic trade structure. I'm Moon, and that's your sports, because doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, working it.
So you could tell for sports radio, it's a downtime. There's not really much to talk about, especially these next couple weeks. All right, so you got the All-Star game for baseball coming up. What is that, next week?
Yeah, and then there's, 2 days where there's 0 sports or something?
Football camps are starting to open. Did you hear about this radio guy out in Kansas City making fun of Pat Mahomes?
No.
So I guess Patrick Mahomes and his wife were out somewhere for 4th of July, and the wife put up a shirtless photo of Patrick Mahomes, and a Kansas City radio host, Kevin Keitzman, called Patrick Mahomes, quote, fat and embarrassing after seeing a shirtless photo of him.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, the guy's getting heat.
Remember, they talked about this. They've addressed this the last couple of years. Every single offseason, you see Mahomes with the shirt off, and he's got the dad bod. Well, they talk about it. Remember, these guys have $1 billion on the line. Their teams have given them the greatest nutritionists, the greatest trainers, and all this kind of stuff. And his trainer has come out multiple times and said, this is how we want him.
Right.
If he's too lean, too thin, he can't take hits.
Yeah, he's got a trainer, his longtime trainer says, and he said this last year, quarterbacks should have at least 14% body fat to absorb impact.
Yeah, they want him this size. He's the right size for the position. Look at every quarterback out there. The smallest ones aren't typically doing as great as the beefer. I'm not even going to say beefy ones, but there's a reason that they have him built like that, and it works as long as it's not taking from his speed, taking from his agility, but it's giving him enough power to be a freaking football player and take hits.
He's not.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen the previous photos of him where he's been called the dad bod.
Every one of us should be coming to his defense.
Trust me.
Because we're all trying to look like him right
trust
now.
Trust me, this Kevin Keitzman guy shouldn't be talking.
Do you look him up?
Is he a striking fella?
But, he responded, I don't want Patrick to become Ben Roethlisberger, who won big as a young player, then just got big. I want him to be like Tom Brady, lock in his 30s and chase him down.
Yeah, whatever.
He's also a dad of 3 kids, and, wait, that's an old one.
That's an old one. There's one, it's him on a boat.
It's this one here.
Oh, the one where he's kind of leaning back?
It's on a body of water somewhere.
It looks great.
He looks fine.
He's got abs.
What is it? Let me see.
They're a little.
Is this because his arms?
He's got a little bit of like a spare tire, but I mean, not.
No, he's fine. Shut up, Kevin.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Shut up, Kevin.
Damn it, Kevin.
All right, one final break. We'll come back and wrap her up. That is it for us. Thank you all for tuning in. If you missed anything on the show today, the clip of the day brought to you by Michael's Flooring. Also, the podcast brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. That is called...
We're Saving Anuses.
All right, Saving Anuses. Hey, big thanks to Nick Lang from Vitali's Hideaway out in Warden, Illinois for stopping by. Make sure if you're out in that area. That was the bar we helped rescue on Bar Rescue. Moon, what else?
Who rescued who,
Mm-hmm.
CanYouFeelThePunkTonight.com. Big show coming up August 8th. Also, Goldfinger has a new song featuring Mark Hoppus coming out on Friday, but you can pre-save it now and tomorrow. And go check it out on our socials. It's called Freaking Out a Bit.
So if you pre-save it, it'll just show up in your thing?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Like as soon as it drops, industry term.
That's right.
It'll just show up on your thing.
We're dropping a new single on
dropping
Friday.
it?
Dang, that's hot.
And Mark Hoppus from Blink-182 is on it. And you're going to love that.
Learn.
Yeah, download that song, get all ready for Friday, and have a great rest of your Wednesday.
All right, Rafe.
No notes.
All right, King Scott.
Love you, St. Louis. You guys are incredible.
All right, thank you. All right, we leave you with a selection from our Teamers Member of the Day, brought to you by Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill. From Dittmer, Missouri, Seth Fear is our Teamers Member of the Day. And Seth wants to hear this song. Here it is. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.